Okay, so official hello to everyone. And some of that is because when I cut these and edit them, I need a place to start for the YouTube videos. There's my YouTube start. Hello, YouTube. Also, hello to everyone in chat. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartoons with the Doodle Crew. We are super excited to be here with you lovely folks on another Saturday morning, drawing some cartoons. So theme of this week is going to be cartoon couples because, hey, it's that time of year where in a couple of days, chocolate is 75% off and everybody's happy. So I have already picked out some of my Reese's Hearts, and I have my eyes on some other ones when they go on sale. So happy Valentine's Day to me. Also here with me today, so I'm going to go around and do the thing that we do where say who you are and where people can find you. And I'm going to start with you, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Oh, hi. I'm Sarah. You can find me on my Tumblr or my website. Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
I do illustration, multimedia, art, game design, animation, whatever.
Whatever. All right. And Laura. Hello, Laura.
Hello. I'm Laura Charles. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but I'm not really on there very much, at Laura Charles Art. That's pretty much everywhere. I have a website, lauracharles.art. I don't do much on there right now either, but it's there if you want to go look at it. That's me. I do illustration, painting, just I like kind of fantasy, steampunk kind of painting, traditionally, right now.
Yeah, like with real paints and stuff, guys.
Right? Like
real paint.
Physical paper.
And if you want to check out Laura being amazing in real paint, you can look at the last episode of Doodle Crew where we did 20-minute prompts, and she used watercolor like a crazy person. So, yeah, I couldn't finish, and I was working digitally, so I got nothing. But speaking of someone who works really, really fast and makes us all look bad, hi, Jeff.
Hi. Hi, I'm Jeff. Jeff Munn. I can be found on Twitter under GMoney and Instagram under Jeff Munn, and my website is jeffmunn.com. Keep it nice and easy that way. I do illustration, animation, graphic design, you name it. I pretty much cover it. So.
And you have new stuff happening on your Patreon right now, right?
I do, yeah. I have a couple exclusive comics running right now. One's a strip that comes up basically just every time I get one done, and that's kind of random. It's called Miscellaneous Miscellany, and it's just kind of like things that pop into my head. I do #parenting. There's a comic strip that you'll get early looks at that on my Patreon, and then it goes public a day or two after that. And then I just started a new graphic novel called Giant Bastard on my Patreon, and that's exclusive, and it won't go anywhere until it's done, which could be for a year or two. Depending on how long it goes. So if you want to get in on it now, that's where you find it. It's patreon.com/pocketscience.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exciting. Also, as the last time Jeff was on channel, you got to hear in the background some of his kids. So if you want to see some of the hijinks that they get into, check out Parenting.
There's a good chance we may see one or all three of them today since they're upstairs cleaning, supposedly. And I'm down here, so.
All right. And someone who has hopefully not had any more coffee accidents this morning. Hi, Kristen.
Yeah, sorry. Hi. So yeah, my name is Kristen. I go by Kia online, mainly Kia Creations, because on top of doing illustration and drawing and doodles, I also do a lot of 3D printing, mainly for like cosplay props and things like that. So I kind of have a wide range of things under the Kia Creations, but you can mainly find me on Instagram. That's where I'm posting a lot of stuff nowadays, and I'm, fingers crossed, hoping to start my own Twitch channel at some point where I can do kind of what we're doing here, live stream not only drawings, but then also the making and construction of different 3D printed props and things like that. So I have a YouTube channel as well, though I'll admit I don't use it as often as I should. So slowly getting in there, but yes. So wide range of cute, sparkly things.
Yay. All right. And you guys mostly know me, but if not, I am a swan named Emily. Also Swan, also Emily. I do art. You saw me yesterday if you were here on this channel, which was fun. We got some good drawing in. Yesterday was a good day. I was happy about that. Also, if you want to see more of my face, coming up on Monday night on the twitch.tv/almostdailypod, the lovely Steph and I will be live. We record our podcast live Monday nights on that, so we're recording 2 episodes of In Addition. We've got some new fun topics to talk about, so hang out there. Like I mentioned at the top, next Doodle Crew is actually coming up on Wednesday. So Wednesday the 17th at 6 p.m., you will get another shot at seeing us. This one will be another prompt one. So these will actually be maybe some of the prompts that you guys submitted last time we streamed. So that's very cool. And just for you, Stealth King, because you asked about it, coming up on the 21st of February at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the next Sketching Shakespeare. So again, Steph, who co-hosts with me on In Addition, she will be picking a chunk of prose from Shakespeare. This is why she does the words and I do the art. And I will be drawing a long-form comic along with that. So yeah, that's where you can find me. So I'm going to stop talking some now, and we're going to do some art. So Saturday morning cartoons, couples edition. So throw it out to the chat. I was having trouble picking a couple because given endless possibilities, I want to do them all. So I might do a few different couples. And but does anybody else have one that they're super excited to start with or already planned?
I just started mine. Usually I come prepared, but not today. I just started mine. I'm going to do the Monarch and Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Brothers.
Yes, awesome. That's great because we were talking about. Sarah, did you pick someone?
I did, and I prepped a little bit last night. I'm going to do Ed and Bev Big Head.
Nice.
Yeah, heads. Imaginary Noman says, go Team Venture. Absolutely. Go Team Venture. Laura, do you have a plan?
I didn't until about 10 minutes ago, so I'm thinking about doing Sophie and Howell.
Oh, that's lovely. In your yes.
Because they're adorable. I like their colors together.
Yeah, no, they're really, really fun. Kristen, do you have one picked?
I had a whole list that I went through trying to decide which ones. And even though I was trying to do something different and maybe a little out of my wheelhouse, I always kind of gravitate back towards what I love, and that's going to be Sailor Moon. I realized I have never drawn Uranus and Neptune, ever.
Yeah.
Like, together or even separately, like, doodles, but like not actually like a nice piece. So I'm going to do Uranus and Neptune from Sailor Moon. And if I have time, I did like a rough sketch of Seahawk and Mermista from She-Ra because their dynamic is just ridiculous and I love it. So it's just going to be a super silly piece of the two of them. Hopefully I'll get time to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. Yeah, I also, I came up with a bunch. So I think to start, I am going to start with Wanda and Cosmo of the Fairly Oddparents.
Oh my God, they were on my list too.
I was feeling bright colors. I also,
yes.
I have a pose set and ready for Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable because
they were on my, get out of my head.
I'm here for the teenage drama cartoons.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't think of it soon enough, but I was going to look into maybe doing Abe and Cleopatra from Clone High. But I was just like, that might be too weird, so I'll stick to this. So yeah, but I did a little bit of sketching to get poses ready.
We should compare notes and see if we had like the same people in our ideas. Because on top of like, I did have Kim Possible, I had Cosmo and Wanda. I also had Sam and Danny from Danny Phantom.
Ooh,
obviously, right? I obviously had She-Ra and Doug Funny and Patty Mayonnaise were also on my list. So just kind of like going down the nostalgia train.
Which honestly was fun. Yep. I also hit up. I might, if I work fast enough, I might throw in some Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers because I adore them. But the big one at the end of it was, and because this is me, learning and growing as we do these streams. I have a 3-way triangle one that I want to incorporate, but I knew that was going to take longer, so I saved it. And that is going to be Rainbow Bright and the boy from the Star Stealer movie, whose name was Chris. But then also the episode where she goes and has the real world thing with the kid Brian. But that was kind of a random pull. So like we were gonna do a little love triangle with some Rainbow Bright because I just want to draw bright colors right now. It's really it. So yeah. And I was thinking of TJ and Spinelli from Recess, but then I realized it's been so long since I've watched Recess that I was like, I don't even remember anymore. So yeah. Hebe Buffet says, I heard She-Ra and Doug Funny together accidentally. I was like, that would be funny.
I will admit, while like looking up cartoon couples, because I had to kind of remind myself of the ones, wow, you dive too deep into the internet and you find some scary, weird fan art of things that I don't really want to get into today. But yes. Doug Funny and Pepper Ann would not have been the weirdest one that I found.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of like mother-son and brother-sister. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? No, stop it. Safe search is on. I don't want to see this. Stop it.
Oh, I meant mainly for like cross-season things like, oh, those characters, I guess, sure.
Yeah, it's just, it's a bad internet place.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good times. So I'll throw this out to the chat. Yes, Mark Simpson, ship forever. Does the chat have any favorite cartoon couples? Either ones that we have mentioned or any new ones?
I got a cat on my lap. That's why I'm not drawing it. Come on. Yes, show your butt to the camera.
I think my cat got freaked out by all my screaming and yelling as I was cleaning up that she's hiding now.
Come on. No, you gotta get off. Come on. Up here. There you go. Good girl. Yes, show your butt to everybody. There we go. Kimberly and Tommy from Power Rangers. Yes, Hebe Buffet. Oh my God. Oh, it's not a cartoon, but I would have absolutely done Power Rangers. So we got to do a live action, like Saturday morning live action, non-cartoon themed one soon. If we continue doing these Saturday morning cartoon ones, because there were too many good live action Saturday morning shows.
Yeah.
Power Rangers has a comic, so you could do them in a comic style.
There.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, some comics they're coming out with are gorgeous. Like they're getting fantastic cover artists to do the cover art. Like the inside looks great. Like I'm impressed. All right.
Oh, that's what I need. Like, why is there a lag? Oh, I have the smoothness set to like 100. I'll do it.
Moisturize me. Major Squish says, I think Shigo from Kim Possible and Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Videos on Perp. Oh, that would be cute. Also, Shigo, again, that black and lime green, man. So choice. Yes.
I don't know if I would see them as much. Oh my God. I don't see them as much as a couple as be like, they would be an excellent, like, wingman duo for each other.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like, I think they would actually pose real threat to the heroes. Yes, thank you, Hebe Buffet. The Power Rangers comic is so good. Imaginary Nomad also throws out Fry and Leela, classic. Ferdinand says Amy and Kiff. Imaginary Nomad says Arnold and Helga. And Mayor Squish says, you're not wrong.
I was trying to come up with a list beyond Nickelodeon because my brain instantaneously went to all the Nickelodeon couples, especially the weird ones.
It's breaking right now.
But if I were more into the style of Total Drama Island, Gwen and Trent.
Ooh, okay.
I forgot about Total Drama Island. I used to be obsessed with that show. My desk is falling apart. Excuse
I
me.
actually got to do some work for Todd Kaufman, the creator of that show.
Did you really?
A long time ago. Yeah, for something that never came to fruition.
Aw.
But it was fun for a couple months that I got to do that.
Were you able to work remotely, or was that on site stuff?
I was here in Pittsburgh. He's in Canada, and I was here in Pittsburgh. So he was just asking some guys to like fill it. He had this show that he wanted to pitch that was about like monsters in high school. It's almost like Clone High, but it was for like monster type people. And I got to do a couple scenes for it, but he never actually put the pilot together or anything. So
That's still pretty cool, though.
yeah, it was fun. It was exciting for the time because I was working for a company here that I hated. So it was like the fun thing that I got to do while I had to go to my day job and not have fun.
A little bit of reprieve.
Mm.
We're just leaving those there for now.
And Flame Princess and Patrick and SpongeBob. Those are my favorite two in the chat so far. Oh,
Yeah, I was curious if you were going to do Adventure Time, Sarah.
I feel like that I'm expected to do it. So then I was like, maybe I should do something else.
So honestly, I thought the same thing because when Randall and I were talking, he was like, "So you're going to do gargoyles, right?" And I was like, "So that was my first thought because it's so much in my style." But I was like, "No, I'm going to try something else. I'm still going to draw it in my style, but I'm going to try and do something that's not just, this exact thing."
See, I leaned into it. You guys went out of the wheelhouse, and that was a very good thing to do. And I'm just like, you know what? Uranus and Neptune. I tried. I had a whole list, and I was like, well, I could do this character. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna. It's Valentine's Day. I'll do what I love. So good for you guys, because you did better than I did.
But we'll see. We'll see how I feel at the end of it because I'm just like, should have just drawn friggin' gargoyles. Just done.
Although I had this discussion with someone like, who from Gargoyles, because there's a couple different people you could do.
Yeah, I was definitely, if I was going to do anybody, it was going to be Detective Mazza because she's my girl. But then I was like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, spoilers for a 25-year-old show, Human Goliath or Gargoyle Goliath, because boy, does that show get weird after the first season.
That's the best episode, though. Just saying.
So I only own the first season, so I'm woefully behind on remembering what happens in later seasons. But I just loved it. I loved it so much.
I was going to do, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old show, his daughter, her name is Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she, I think, gets together with Hudson at the end of the series. So yeah, that's the couple I was looking at doing.
Well, she's so pretty.
She was so pretty.
Well, then I was like, I mean, I could just do Demona by herself, or her with a gun, because she's anybody. So.
Or Fox and Xanatos.
I was thinking them. Oh my god.
Or Xanatos and like the probably stacks of plans that he has to have written out in his office.
We got big love for Princess Bubblegum and Marceline. So Randy asks, Jeff, what was your job at Invention Land or whatever that place was called?
I was an animator there. Yeah. How did you know that was the place I hated working? I worked at Invention Land here in Pittsburgh, and it was, at least back then, it's been 10 or 12 years since I worked there, but it was a pretty terrible place to work. We were putting together, at the time, the CEO, the owner, he wanted to get an entertainment division started. He wanted to he always called himself the next Walt Disney, and
that's good.
We all rolled our eyes every time he said it.
Wow.
He was
modest.
Well, yeah, you could say that. He always told us how to do our jobs, even though he hired like some of the, some really good animators to work there. We had a really great crew, but just the, working there was so bad that our guys just kind of dropped off one by one. And by the time I was laid off. There was only 2 of us left. Like there were only 2 animators out of I think we had like 10 at one point. But we were putting together a pilot for a kid show about these kid inventors, and it was a decent show. We always ran into the problem where when I started there, we had a whole pilot written and boarded. So like we were just animating scenes, and then focus kind of went somewhere else for a while, and then that whole thing got scrapped, and the whole show changed. He brought in some guy who like had worked in the entertainment industry and had helped get shows off the ground, and he had put a whole bunch of new input in, and the whole show changed gears. And then so we started working on that, and then that stopped and went back to the original idea. And then by the time I left, I don't even know if they had a coherent idea left to build anything on. So it was unfortunate that like I loved the guys that I worked immediately with, but the environment itself was a terrible place.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it really was.
You had all those talented people together, and with just a strong leader or strong vision, you could have made something really cool. But
yeah, and it's really weird because the place, like it's this giant warehouse, but inside the warehouse, he had these guys who mostly graduated from the Art Institute from the industrial design. They built all these beautiful like sets. So like when I first started working there, we worked in an area that was called the clubhouse, and it was above a quote unquote baseball field. Like they built a very small baseball field, and we were up basically in the box seats when we started. And then we moved from there to the pirate ship. It's literally a pirate ship, like big pirate ship built inside this warehouse that we worked on. And the only bad part about it was in the wintertime, since it's a warehouse, it's really hard to heat a warehouse. Yeah. So since we weren't in one of the actual house sets, like they built like houses, and one that looked like a big shoe, and people worked inside there. Literally look up Invention Land and go through the pictures. You'll see what the place actually looked like. It's I was super excited to work there when I left Albany. I had a video game job. I left Albany to come back down here to Pittsburgh to work there. I was super excited. I was like, all right, I'm going to be working on a cartoon show, and I'm going to be working in this awesome place. In the wintertime, the temperature dropped so bad that we all had to like wear our coats and gloves while we were trying to work. And it was just like we all had our own space heaters underneath our desks to try and just stay warm. And it was just, we're like, one of these days, someone's going to forget to turn off their space heater before we leave, and it's sitting on this wooden deck on this thing. We're going to come in, and it's just going to be, the whole place is going to burn down. Because, like, I mean, it's such a shame that the potential of that place is just squandered so hard by the people in charge. But yeah, that's what I did. I was an animator.
Unfortunately, with the number of students and art students that come out of the Pittsburgh area, I feel like you've got unlimited supply of brand new people to just keep cycling through until they pick that up.
Yep. I mean, they had, besides our department, like they had every single department, they all focused on their own, like it's an invention company. So you go there with your idea, you pay a ridiculous amount of money for them to develop your idea. And so every department had their own designers. So you had to have product designers and graphic designers for like box art and stuff like that. And like sometimes we'd get pulled onto those projects, which would, put a halt to what we were doing or stuff like that. But like, I mean, we had so many artists there and so many people from, different disciplines and stuff. And it was just like everybody was just like, I can't believe this place. I can't believe like, but I mean, it is what it is.
Now, did you get to keep any of the work that you did that you could keep for your demo reel or for your show?
Yeah, we could use. I have my old reel. Well, I mean, my new reel is actually old now, but my older reel that I had before that had a lot of my Invention Land stuff on it, a lot of the stuff from the inventions that we did. But yeah, I still have some of the work, but I mean, some of that work's like, 8, 9, or it's like 10 to 12 years old now. So it's like,
right.
Maybe not put it on my real. It's like, especially when I've worked for places like Playboy TV and stuff like that. That like stuff like Cyanide and Happiness and stuff like that. I'd rather put that on my reel than something
Absolutely.
that never went anywhere.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that always seems the issues with those big warehouses. Like form doesn't really follow function. It's a great idea, open space, but then it's not practical for use.
Yeah.
I mean, great in a place that doesn't get below freezing temperatures. Like, I feel like California that has a little bit more regulation, maybe as far as it like set up stuff. But yeah, no.
When I was in college, the illustration, drawing, photography, sculpture department, they were all in an old Ford factory. It wasn't exactly a warehouse, but they seemed to manage to keep that okay. It was just huge, open, wide spaces. I actually have no idea how they did it in retrospect. But even my office that I work in right now for my day job, there are definitely days where I just don't take my coat off because they keep it so cold for whatever reason.
That was always the big fight. So as far as like office job where I was working as a designer, I worked in an open office concept. So it was myself, it was two other designers, it was one of the bosses who was also like, she would design, answer the phone, and the billing guy, and it was open, and it was right where customers also walked in. And if you want to talk about not being able to get a consistent workflow because you're interrupted every few minutes, like that was just, but it was the same thing. Like, because we had so many different shapes and sizes of humans, like to keep a consistent temperature was not a thing. And it was, there would either, like, it'd be like 98 degrees outside or something like that, but the air conditioning would be cranked up so much I'd be sitting there with like a jacket on, and I run. Yeah. So like, it's cold in there if I'm cold. But it was just like, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, they do that in the summer at my job too. It just seems weird, but if they don't mind me sitting at my desk with a giant coat on, I guess I can deal with it. It feels slightly passive aggressive, but
one of the offices I used to work. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
I was going to say, at one of the offices I used to work at, they had the kind of open floor plan, and they had these big vents in the ceiling that would blow right on our desks. And so a lot of people, especially the people underneath the vents, like directly underneath of them, got umbrellas and like wedged them up into the vent like slats so that the air just wouldn't blow directly on them.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And there was a few people that like built little shelters, like they would get some old cardboard or something and build like a little roof to their little cubicles so that just the cold air wouldn't blow directly on top of them. It took me a while to even think of that as a solution. I just brought a blanket all the time and just kind of drank lots and lots of hot tea. But it was like painful in the wintertime how cold that office got.
And I think too, like, you're sitting and working at a computer. Like, I know, like I said, like I generally run warm, but when I'm sitting here, my feet start to get cold, my fingertips get cold. Like, I chill down a lot as I'm not moving that much, and it just, it gets really unpleasant. I don't love it.
I wear these gloves at my office all the time, and I was there for a year with these gloves, and then I was one of my coworkers. We were talking, and he was like, "So why the gloves?" And I'm like, "Because it's cold." He's like, "Oh, I thought it was like some kind of fashion statement or something." I'm like, yeah, I wear the same fingerless gloves every day as a fashion statement.
Yeah, that sounds
like,
a lot.
No, it's freezing.
Like, no, this is practicality. This is because I can't feel my fingers. Yeah, so for anybody out there, if you have artists on staff, we are basically like house plants or house cats. Like, please keep that in mind. Like, we need a regulated temperature. We need water once in a while. Like, We're pretty quiet, but yeah, we will get cold.
I love that. We are houseplants. Please be nice to us.
A little bit of sunshine now and then. Kursami, Anga guitar. Oh, Delphine Raven popped up a while ago. Raven and Beast Boy. That's a good one. Del, there's an artist. Oh gosh, I'm gonna blank on the name now. Who does such cool, like, he puts Raven and Beast Boy in like street clothes, and he has a whole series. I can see his art. I can't think of his name. Let me see if I can find it. And I love it because he does a ton of Raven Beast Boy stuff, and it's just gorgeous. Randall's still here. He knows. I think he knows who I'm talking about. I'm gonna be able to find his name now. I'm looking.
That Kristen's smoke alarm or my smoke alarm.
Oh, it's Piccolo. There it is. I got it. I was like,
I don't hear a smoke alarm. Is there a smoke alarm?
I heard a
one.
tweet.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's mine, I didn't realize.
Yeah. All right. So
Maybe it's my neighbors.
Yes. Thank you, Randall. You're absolutely right. It is Piccolo. All right. So Del, if you don't already follow or check out that one, definitely check out that artist because his Beast Boy Raven stuff is all just so cute. But yeah, it was funny because the one episode you were on, Kristen, when we had the smoke detector beeping, and then Sarah was on the next one, and then hers also started beeping, and I was just like, what is happening?
I will admit I have a huge fear when it comes to changing smoke alarms. Like changing the battery or testing them or something. I don't know what it is. I just have this like panic response to doing it.
Ridiculously loud.
Do it
because
you have to.
Yeah, the alternative is not great.
It all stems from childhood when smoke alarms scared me.
I slept through a smoke alarm once. Thankfully, it was not an actual fire.
My hotkeys aren't working. Why are my hotkeys not working? That's weird.
That happens to me sometimes, and I just have to close program, reopen. If you're in an Adobe.
I am not. I'm using a precursor to Clip Studio Paint. I'm using the Manga Studio because I did not purchase the newest one. And the old one still works fine.
That was what I said about Photoshop CS2, using it for so many years beyond when it was current.
Can we talk about how long we went before upgrades to Photoshop? Yes.
So long.
For a long time, I was adamant that I wouldn't move past CS2 because CS2 has the link feature in the Layers tab, and they took that out, and you have to like right-click to link or use the icon. And I was just like, nope, you took away my thing I love. I refuse to upgrade.
Oh, save reminder for those of you working digitally.
I just did, but I'll save again. I feel like I would jinx myself not saving.
I've been doing this a lot lately, just forgetting to save until I'm like halfway through the ink. So I'm like, I haven't even saved this from the sketch, let alone now.
Yeah, no, big same. Like, I'll look down and be like, oh, I must have at least... No, it's not even named yet.
Yeah, but mine still says comic. That's the name of my template. Like, I gotta...
It's fine. It's fine, guys. Oh, funny. Oh, so Del says, your favorite Marvel couple isn't in cartoons yet. Who's your favorite Marvel couple, Bill? Well, once you are saved, Jeff, I was going to throw it over so that people could see where you were at.
Saved. Saving.
Yes, Wiccan and Hulkling. And there's so much more I want to say to you on that point, but it is spoilers for WandaVision and stuff like that, so I'm not going to go any farther into it. But if you're not watching WandaVision, you should watch it. All right. Look at the monarch. And the tiny human. Hello, tiny human.
It's littlest me.
Littlest you.
They can see what you're doing on that,
I know, right?
but you're doing that edge a little bit.
Uh-huh. What are you doing up there?
I'm fooling around and
What are your brothers doing? Are they cleaning or are they done cleaning?
they're not done cleaning.
They're not done cleaning. Okay. Can you go supervise them?
Yes.
All right. See you later.
Oh, can we talk about how cute that was?
So you are recording everything, and then you can cut it up and make your own animated series, right?
Yep.
At bug your kids for sure.
Yeah, I have I like I said earlier, I do a comic strip called #Parenting, which is I like to explain it as being 85% completely accurate as to what goes on in my life. You know, a little bit is made up, but most of the stuff is verbatim what my kids do and say. So I have started actually rigging some characters in Flash to try and do a little, maybe a little web series eventually, if I can ever find the time.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, and I feel like your style just lends itself so well to animation.
It's to say ridiculous words like we're best friends now. We're gonna have soft tacos later. I think that's coming from my computer and not from my house.
So it was great this morning. So I was standing outside of the gym talking to the girl that I work out with, who's also, I work with her at a different job. And it was very surreal because we're still in our masks and everything, but we're standing outside and all of a sudden we hear a phone ringing, but it's not like a normal ringtone. Like it just sounds like a ringing thing. And like both of us are looking around and can't figure out where it's coming from. I think it might've been like inside one of the cars that was pulling up, but it was such a surreal thing where I'm just like, I'm so glad you were here. Cause if it was just me, I'd be like, did I really hear that? Or did I just imagine it? Because I haven't eaten anything yet today.
Hi, you're back. No, you're not. Come on. It's like a tail right in my. There you go.
Thank you, chat. Yes, if you will shout out times to remind us to save, I would be very grateful for that. So yes,
That would be very nice. Wow. That's
I like the cooperative nature.
Can I give you my personal phone number for you to also text me every once in a while to do the same?
Old school. Garfield and Arlene. That is real old school.
Oh, and Kibi Buffet has put in a request to let the cat draw.
No. She chews up too many stylus and pens as it is.
Oh,
I did cleaning the other day, and she loves pens, and there's just like a collection growing underneath of my I have a bookshelf that's like just 2 inches off the ground, you know, not enough to like wedge your whole hand under to get cleaned out, but enough that all the cat toys just collect there. So that is always an ordeal to clean out the cache, the cat cache.
Cat cash.
My cat hates erasers, like they are her mortal enemy. And I was drawing with a coal erase pencil, and she walked up, grabbed the eraser, pulled it clear out of the little holder, and ran off with it. And I'm like, I have no idea where you put this. And then later I found that pencil, and she had chewed the metal piece so that it was completely closed. So even if I found the eraser, I could never put it back.
Oh my god.
That's like one of those, an eraser, like, she has a horrible traumatic event with an eraser.
It like killed
Eraser
her brother.
killed her brother.
Yeah.
We have to get out of each other's heads now.
One of us. One of us.
That weird mind meld thing. What are you doing?
This is why I'm
If you
happy
hear
I'm
a weird,
cat can't hear any of these things to get ideas.
if you hear a weird swishing sound, it's my cat trying to completely get underneath of the upholstery on my chair.
Well, sure.
Uh-huh.
What's up, bub?
We want like you to check how he did.
Death to Erasers 2, where rubber meets the road. Ooh, I like that.
Well played, Soapbox. Oh, also, I love it. So Nicole has set up the Nightbot, which is the auto mod, to remind us. Oh, Hebe Buffet says Punky and Shirley the Loon. All right.
What is organization? I don't know. Let's just save it. There we go.
Perhaps I should draw her other hand. Maybe. Okay, so chat, throwing this back out to you. Were there any cartoon couples that were this is the couple that's going to be together that you disagreed with? Because I'm going to throw out, I was a big team Zutara fan. I was a Zuko and Katara. Okay. So yeah, Hebe Buffet, Matt and Sora. I love it so much. Thank you.
I had that combination with someone just the other day, how Avatar actually invented the term shipping. It wasn't like, it was usually like you use like a slash to indicate that a thing was a couple, but then the actual like verbiage of shipping something came about with a comic that was made in regards to Katang or Zutara. Like the history of terminology of meaniness.
There you go. The more you know, kids.
But I was also a Zutara, Emily. Yeah.
I'm a Beast Boy Terra person.
Oh, Tara's so good. So good.
I remember when we did the convention with you, Emily, at Pittsburgh Comic-Con. Or was that Steel City?
That was actually Pittsburgh Comic-Con before it died, and then was reborn, and then has had a... Yeah, it's had such a strange life. But yes, that was the last year of actual Pittsburgh Comic-Con not being owned by Wizard and running a really beautiful show. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
But I had a bunch of just different DC characters, just little cute like postcards. And this little girl came up, and I had Beast Boy and Terra, just a little chibi version, and Beast Boy had a flower behind his back, and Terra's like floating little rocks above his head. And this little girl came up and she goes, "Oh no, I don't ship that. It's Beast Boy and Raven." And I just wanted to be like, well, you probably haven't watched the original cartoon. And I didn't want to get into a fight with this like 6-year-old girl.
That's smart. That's good personal restraint.
I don't know. I think that would have been an opportunity for education that would, help her. It's like, no, you're wrong,
And
sweetie.
why you're wrong. Yeah, that's where the drawing of, so it was a little kid in a push stroller and then a slightly older human but still a very tiny human that was dressed as Harley Quinn, and she had this tiny little hammer and they're pushing it by, and like she was kind of like peering over into the stroller with the brother, and all I hear the parents say is like, no, we don't hit your brother with the hammer. I'm just like, that's amazing. Yeah. So
I wanted the little kid, like, then you shouldn't have given it to me, Mom.
I was going to say, like, don't give her the hammer. Like, I am not one to be around children, and I know that. Yep. There's also an adorable little, like, he couldn't have been older than 3, dressed up as Doctor Who with the little bow tie and everything, and he was just, like, he was chewing away on his sonic screwdriver. It's like, no, the doctor doesn't put the screwdriver in his mouth. And the kid's just like, yeah. No, that's, again, you gave me this toy. This is what I'm doing.
Oh man, Daisy and Goofy for life. I agree. That's a deep cut too.
Oh, okay. I missed
Cloud and Tifa is a sin? Hebe Pave has some opinions about that. I can't say I disagree, though. But, like, a sin.
So Dell also says, I always wanted Sokka to be with Toph, and she does kind of like Raven and Cyborg. That's a fun one. Hebe Buffet was so mad when Matt and Sora was canon. And Stealth King says that Starfire and Robin are not good for each other, and I agree. I have never really gotten down with that one. Del Raven also says Daisy Duck deserves better than Donald, and don't we all? Yeah, we all deserve better than Donald.
I think that it depends
I think
on
Starfire and sorry, go ahead.
I think with Donald, it depends on what series, because in DuckTales and in the comics, he's awesome. In his own cartoons, he's awful.
I hated him in Kingdom Hearts, too. What were you going to say about Starfire, Kristen?
Oh, I 100% agree that they as a couple don't really work together. Aesthetically, it's just color all over the place, and I kind of like it.
That's fair. I did enjoy one of the not newer anymore, but new to the last 20 years, DC animated movie that was Teen Titans versus somebody. Who are they fighting? Now I can't remember. But that one was fun with like all the colors and the craziness. And was it them versus the Justice League? I can't even remember now. That's terrible. I started that sentence so confident, and it just brains.
We want to say that I am totally making this art specifically for Randall.
Yay!
There's one. Oh, the raccoons are on my roof again.
So if you hear these sentences out of context, we sound like crazy people. Oh, when we lost Kristen, the raccoons got her. All right, I am going to jump over it because I see new stuff with Jeff. Oh my gosh, I love the pose. That's so fun. I love Dr. Girlfriend.
I can hear their voices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Justice League versus Teen Titans. Thank you, Randall. Thank you. Also, Soapbox Clot's coming in with Final Fantasy VII Remake is so thirsty. And I could hear you saying that, Paul, and it cracks me up. Yes, Damian Wayne is a little shit. He really, really is. But yeah. Everyone wants Cloud's take. Yeah, he's never won. I was always Team Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. I didn't really care for Cloud, but hey, there we go. She's back. Hello.
Hi. Don't know what happened. Internet decided it didn't want to.
We thought maybe the raccoons got you.
Yeah, like I think the last thing I remember saying was that would be a good band name, and then all of a sudden I got disconnected. But maybe I was disagreed with. Like, no.
And you're out. Oh my gosh. The Nightbot prompt came up again for everybody to save. I kind of love it.
Excellent.
This might be the best thing.
This is a good feature. Keep this feature.
Thank you, Nicole. I know this is the color I pulled from the character, but I don't like it, so we're gonna fix it.
I have that problem with the matte graining Pokemon characters. Like Brock's skin is a gross color from the anime.
Yeah.
It works in that color palette only.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't like how that. He was just too like reddish peach, and it looked weird.
Like brown, peach, pink, yellow, like it was like too much of all the colors.
Yeah. Yeah. Soapbox says, I'm saving it. I don't even have anything to say. It's like, yeah, no, it's good for us though. I need that in my real life. And it's funny too, because I've lived so many years to this point with either laptops or PCs that weren't always super reliable because they couldn't always handle the heavy duty either editing program or design program I was using. And now that I do have one that handles it pretty well, I'm so bad about remembering to save because it rarely crashes on me. And I'm just like, nope, this is bad. None of that is a good thing to learn from this.
Might be my house. I hear it again. I'm gonna go look for it.
Okay.
The raccoons or the smoke alarm? Are you in a safe space? Are you okay?
I am okay. Our raccoon's name is Crambles, and he's usually not violent.
So he's not lighting fires and setting off fire alarms? Is that what we're
Right.
saying?
Can't say I'm enjoying the confidence in which that statement was made.
I fed him some ham once, and I think we're okay. He was trying to get our campfire food, and I was like, no, that table is not for raccoons. Here, have your own ham.
He has tasted meat and wants more.
He brings me corn dogs, half-eaten corn dogs, and leaves them in my yard.
That's sweet.
I mean, I assume it's Crambles. If it's like the neighbor kids, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah,
It's not even a raccoon, it's just some guy.
But he's also adopted the name Crambles. Like, he just really
Right.
likes it. Like, you can call me Crambles if you want to.
It is Pittsburgh. I feel like it's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Brought you this corn dog.
I read Hebe's comment as soon as you said that, and it just made shivers go down my spine. It's not the neighbor kids, it's the neighbor.
It's somehow so much worse if it's like a 45-year-old man.
In my head, in a bathrobe and like slippers,
Yep.
like in my backyard for no reason. Whoa.
Good times. Oh, Pittsburgh, you crazy.
Do I miss Pittsburgh sometimes? I don't know.
Mayor Swish says, like Mr. Heckles from Friends.
Yeah, a little bit, but like, I think at least he was like grumpy, so you were like, all right, this guy's just a jerk. I feel like this guy is Mr. Heckles plus like extra crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking of Mr. Oh, was it like Constantopoulos or something, the next door neighbor in Princess Diaries, where he's always in his little bathrobe and he's writing his great screenplay.
Oh, I totally forgot about that guy.
Why is it in my brain? Who knows? But definitely need to keep that one. Can't
But
let
it
that-
lives there.
It lives there, rent free. Yeah. Where did I park my car at the grocery store? Who knows? But let me tell you this random side character from a movie that's 20 years old.
Can't remember my PIN number, but I know that guy's name.
Brent and I started just parking on the right side of whatever parking lot we're parking in. And that helped cut it down by at least half.
It's so bad.
Cool. Actually, I should start adopting something like that because I drive a blue Honda Fit, and in Pittsburgh, there's like always another blue Honda Fit in a parking lot near me. On the street where I lived with Randall, there were two other almost identical blue Honda Fits. They were just like 2 or 3 years newer. And on street sweeping day, they would all move to right in front of our building.
Oh,
Luckily, mine had a Pikachu sticker, so it was easy to keep track of. But it was always weird when I look out my window and there would be like my car twin.
the Matrix would be.
We had that issue when we had a Rogue. We had a black Rogue, and they're everywhere, no matter where you live.
At least you know they're probably a good car then. Reliable.
Yeah, it was pretty good until the transmission broke. That's actually a fun story. I was on the way back from, actually, I think it was Twin Rivers, Emily?
Three
that little one?
rivers.
What was it?
3 rivers.
3 Rivers. Sorry, it's been so long.
That's okay.
I was driving back from that. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was somewhere between there and Corning, and my transmission just stopped.
Oh my God, I remember that.
I was going from one highway to another on like a ramp, and it just like suddenly couldn't drive anymore, so I had to pull over, and that was fun to call a creepy tow man.
Terrifying.
Nothing happened. It was just like it was rather alarming.
Well, and it was because you were by yourself that weekend, right?
Yeah, I was on my own. So
Yeah, so it wasn't like Brent was anywhere around.
no, so my father-in-law, he has a car trailer, so we just had the tow guy tow me to the closest public parking lot, and then Brent came and got me. I don't think we got back to like 12:30 or 1.
Yeah, it was something nuts.
And then I took the next day off, and I went down there with my father-in-law, and we brought the car back, which is a lot cheaper than paying someone else to do it. So
Yeah.
I think we were still an hour outside of home. So, but yeah, other than that, it was a great car. And actually, it really was. It lasted quite a long time. We had a lot of miles. We went to California. or we came back from California and we drove out like all over the place out there. So it lasted a good long time. So despite that horrifying story, I would still recommend it to people if they were asked.
I feel like the recommendation after that means so much more because you had that very harrowing experience. You're like, no, like it's a legit recommendation.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah, cars are stressful. Even when they're working, I feel like they still stress me out. So
So
I
much
miss
money.
the public transportation aspect of Pittsburgh.
I do miss public transportation. I guess everything is too spread out here.
Oh yeah.
We have a bus that drives by like 5 miles from. Okay, I guess now it's 2 miles. 2 miles from our house. So in theory, I could like ride my bike to the bus stop and then get on a bus and go to Corning.
Yeah. But it also makes very weird stops.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like take your bike with you and then get it as close as you could and then bike the rest of the way. Like that just at a certain point that sounds like a lot of work and extra time.
Yeah, it's mostly a time issue, and the other thing is that I come down a really giant hill to get to where the bus stop is. So going down would be dangerous, but not too long. But coming back up it would probably take me, personally, it would probably take me 2 hours because I'm really not in great shape. And I'd have to walk most of it because there's no way I could ride my bike up it.
Yeah.
But
no.
really, it's that hill that keeps me from even trying. Like, I'll think about it, and then I'll be like, nah.
I could do that, or I could
I could do that. Or I could be reasonable and just not.
I don't know if just because it's been so long and I haven't found one that I find comfortable, or honestly, the one I think is since I got my motorcycle, my interest in riding a bicycle has dropped to maybe like 2%. Like I just don't have it. Like I just don't want to do it. And often, again, because I frequently find the seats uncomfortable. And the last time when I borrowed someone's bike, the way it was set up for them, I ended up putting so much like forward weight and pressure on my wrists that hurt so much that I was just like, this is miserable. I don't ever want to do this again. Why would anybody do this? And, my mom's like, we could actually get you a bike that fits you. And I was like, no, I just want to be cranky. So.
Well, if I had a motorcycle, I wouldn't want a bike either. I don't think I knew you had a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love it. Oh,
That's my smoke alarm.
it was yours?
Yep. That's the one in the basement. So I'm up on the
All
third
this
floor.
time I've been blamed for something that wasn't my fault. Vindication.
You're up on the third floor and it's down in the basement, you said?
Yeah. I will have to put a new battery in it after this, but hopefully no fire happens in that particular spot.
In the next few hours.
Yeah. But there are like multiple on each floor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tricky to figure out which one is making the sound.
Yeah.
Because they're all sort of around our stairwell, so the sound travels directly up.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a waiting game. Just sit waiting with a baseball bat for one of them to tweet.
Okay, so I just heard one again. Did you you took the battery out of the one you had?
I didn't. I just took it down, which now I realize is silly. But at least I know which one it is.
Well, it'll be easy to pop the new battery in it. It was just funny because I heard another one beep. So I think they are slowly trying to break us in.
Seems legit. Yeah.
Well, with as many detectors as I have, multiple could need new batteries. But I specifically have changed at least 4 or 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 now. So there's only a hand, like, I don't know, there's like 3 that it could possibly be. All of my batteries were not good batteries.
Yeah. And they're not cheap, which bums me out.
I used to keep an eye on Woot, if you remember that as a website.
Gosh, I do.
They would have crazy battery sales. And it would be like, for $20, get your weight in batteries. And I'm like, okay, I'll never need a battery again. And I'm still using the 9 volts from like 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
You go through the D batteries, but I think there are fewer D batteries in my like body weight than the 9 volts.
That's funny. That's
I'm mostly closed in. I wonder if I just keep closing doors if I'll stop hearing it.
They're surrounding you. They're blocking you in. It's all part of the tactic. I don't know. This seems staged.
Well, there are 3 on my floor.
They're revolting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Smoke detectors come to life. Seek their revenge.
Oh, jeez, I forgot though. Telling you what, guys, this coming prepared thing is pretty cool. I see why you do it.
I say I'm still working on my drawing. That should teach me.
Yes, but Laura, I feel like there's never been a point where your drawings aren't worth the wait. So
Oh,
take you all the time you need.
Well, it's one of those days I'm having problems with limbs, but we're gonna go ahead and go with it anyway.
Well, I was telling the chat yesterday when I was getting towards the end of my stream, and I was sketching out some of these poses that I always find it funny with couples, especially when they're doing like arms wrapped around each other and everything. Like anatomy gets really strange because I can't always figure out like, but how did you wrap? Like, where did your other arm go? Or like, how are you standing like that? And I get really like, so I was looking up actual like photographs of people to be like, okay, how do you do this? And you know,
That's usually what I do, and I did it this time, but I kind of am just, there were parts that I just kind of made up, and you can tell, but again, well, that's all right. I think I'm going to be more interested in the color this time around anyway, so I suppose really I should be interested in all of it, but
considering this is, you know, like an unpaid thing that we do for fun, the level of that is totally up to you. And if you want,
We're not getting paid for this.
I know. You're getting paid in exposure, Jeff Munn. Take those exposure
Oh,
points right to the
no.
bank.
Yeah, I'll tell you where to take those exposure points.
God, exposure.
It's too real, guys. It's too real. Oh,
I like how Emily meant that as like a lighthearted thing, and everyone was like, nah.
I have to laugh, Laura, or I'll cry. Yeah, and I
True.
sometimes I swear that's one of the main reasons I wear makeup, because in my brain I'm like, okay, I don't want to make a mess of this, so you have to hold your shit together. You cannot cry right now.
No.
Everything's fine. It's fine. It's all going really well.
I think we're gonna have one episode where we just give each other positive reinforcement and hugs by the sound of this.
Yeah, I am excited though. A grant proposal that I had submitted to do art at the youth center came through, so I will be getting to do that project, which I am excited about. So
Nice.
yeah,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
thank you. I just have to design the stupid thing because it's been like 3.5 months that we were waiting to get the money. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend any more time on this because I don't know if it's going to actually happen.
I mean, that's smart. Personally, I think so.
Some days I have days where I do the right thing and think things through. But it was funny then because when we went to the meeting that I had recently and what kicked off last week being so weird, it was just like, they're like, okay, so you ready to like start stenciling? I was like, no, because it's been 3.5 months. I haven't thought about this literally until like 2 days ago when you told me we got the money. So I'm gonna need a minute.
I feel like people do expect us to, like, especially with teaching, to spend a lot of unpaid time on it.
Yes, I agree.
Which, I mean, that's par for the course for anyone doing teaching, which is why I was never interested in teaching at a public school, because I've always found I'm good at keeping kids who are already interested, engaged with art, but I'm not good at getting kids who don't give a shit to give a shit.
Yeah.
God bless those teachers. Like, I love people like that, but I am not that person.
Yeah, it takes a very special person. I was like, no, I mean, I could teach kids who want to be there all day long, but the kids who don't care, I'm like, nope.
No, I
remember.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it always happens every stream, but we always end up going back to like talking about college. But I remember in college we had a teacher, and she had this really great saying that I actually think about more often than I probably need to. It was, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it thirsty. Like, not only can I not make you do the work, I can't make you want to do the work. Like, if you're here in this class, if it's an art class or something, you're here because you want to do this. You want this to become a career or a passion of yours. So if you're not doing the artwork, there's nothing I can do for you. Like, I can't train you or teach you how to want to do art.
I am stealing that.
Oh,
That's great.
Good.
And accurate.
It is accurate.
Very accurate, yeah. You have to have that, and it kind of also eases the pressure on teachers too, because it's like, yeah, you can't force a student who just claims, oh, I want to be a video game artist or something, and it's like, okay, well, where's the proof of that? If you want to be an NBA player, you don't just pick up a ball when you get to college. You have been drawing this whole time. So
Right, you've been practicing, you've been working at it. I do use the sports analogy with a lot of parents in particular. I'll get a lot of parents who'll come in and be like, my kid's really interested in art, but they're not really talented. And I'm like, your child is 8. Like, of course they're not very talented. They haven't learned how to do anything yet.
Why is my kid not a superstar now?
Here,
Right.
make them better. Make them really good. Like, that's not how things work, guys. Or I love.
Well, and so I would use.
They took one class and they're like, well, we don't really see drastic improvement. I'm like, well, I had 7 weeks of 1 hour sessions in a class of 10, but yeah, you're right.
Well, and also, well, that's why I like the sports analogy, because I'm like, would you expect your kid to take, a 5-week class in sports, or some kind of sport, soccer, for example, and be, really excellent at it? And 100% of the time, they're like, no. And I'm like, well, it's the same thing. Like, it's exactly the same thing.
Yep.
See, nonsense like that. That's why I teach college. I just don't want to deal with parents. That was 100% the reason. Just no parents, thank you.
Well, they just have. Well, I think part of it comes down to the whole idea that you're either naturally talented or you're not, which I hate that so much. Sorry if anyone else believes in that, but so yeah,
everything takes practice.
Yeah.
People hate it, but
like, I wasn't born with natural talent. I was okay, but mostly I just wanted to do it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not denying there's definitely geniuses.
Oh yeah, but
that happens in everything.
There's prodigies in everything, but they're 1 in a million, and I'd rather just keep slogging along and working hard, and hope that I get a following than pray to be that 1 in a million. But I think it's funny when it comes to art too, because one of the big things I always teach is, especially with the students that I have that are kind of at that formative middle school, early high school age, and it was I never stop learning. There's always a new technique. There's always a new thing. There's always new technology. There's always a new program. There's always something new. So I don't ever plan to get to a point where I'm the best, or I'm the best that I'm ever going to be, because I can always get better. I can always learn something new and go from there. So, I don't like, there's not an end. That's not my goal, is to hit the end. My goal is to get comfortable in what I'm doing so that I'm creating art that I like. And then in, a year, be dissatisfied with that art and want to get better.
I love that too.
Yeah. Exactly that same note I had. This isn't mine. This is a friend of mine who's actually a photographer. And he said the biggest insult that he can give an artist is, you have like, oh, this looks like your art from 5 or 10 years ago. Like, to say you haven't improved your art and it hasn't like developed over time, to stagnate, I guess. Like, it's like it's a pretty big, like, you don't ever want to stagnate, even if it's just small little things, like you've been playing around with lighting. It's always good to see that you've changed, and not necessarily your style, but that you can see an improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it took me forever to get to the point where I realized that my goal was not to be the best at what I was doing. My goal was to keep learning. And it was very depressing. There was a very depressing point of my art career where I'm like, I am never going to be any good. And I had that aha moment where I was like, I'm always going to feel kind of like this, and it's okay, because it means I'm learning.
Yeah. No, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to sit there and like have that fleeting moment of like, oh, I feel really good, and then have it pass and be like, I'm not that good. And we had had a whole bunch of stuff happening in chat. I'm sorry, guys. We're getting
oops.
We're
getting passionate about it.
We're really doing therapy right here. So Simkin, I know he is also an instructor, and he's got PhD in his name, and I'm pretty sure he actually holds one in real life too. So we professors get helicopter parents now, who I had to explain to that I can't discuss their child's grades with them without the express permission of the child, which is interesting. So, but yeah, that's just like, I like parents who are involved, but at a certain point, you almost swing the pendulum too far to the other side.
It's a delicate balance, like having to deal with, like, I mean, a lot of it I really think has to do with trusting your kids. Like, if you've done the job you're supposed to do, then you got to just kind of trust your kids to either do the right thing, or you trust that they're not, like, your kid or you don't know your kid. Like, you can't continue to make excuses for them if you know that they're going to continue to, like, I don't know, not
You would
necessarily
think.
slack off, but if they don't have the interest for it, then
Right.
you got to know that they don't have the interest for it. You can't force them to do anything. And if you know that they're doing poorly in class, you can't be like, well, what's this teacher doing? Like, maybe it's not the teacher. Maybe it's your kid.
Now you're just talking crazy talk, Jeff.
I know, responsibility and all that good stuff.
Yeah, accountability, self-awareness, all of that. It's just
My
bananas.
parents
If
always told me
self-growth
they
was
trusted
easy,
me.
everyone would do it.
That's true.
What was that, Laura, that you'd said?
No, I was just saying my parents always told me they trusted me, but then they'd like, well, I guess it was really my mom. I don't know. She was always like chucking in, but not in a, it was more like, I say I trust you, but I don't trust everyone else. I don't know. I never felt trusted. Let me put it that way.
She was very much of the trust but verify school of thought. Like, I trust you, but yeah.
My parents were so convinced that I was a bad kid that it was like, no, promise. Like, they just assumed that I cheated on everything. They just assumed that I was like doing drugs and going out of school and not doing good work. And it's like, oh, okay.
It was weird when parents are like that.
Okay. So more from the chat. So Nicole, I know you said my dad did that to me once, and I'm sorry, I forget which specific thing we were on when you sent that. TV Buffet says, I look at pictures on Facebook and Instagram to show his drag from a year or two ago. And I feel like I've been hate crimed. I'm sorry, I butchered that sentence. But yeah, no, it's funny too, because it's stuff that, at least for me, like things I remember feeling a lot of pride in at the moment when I posted them, but I'll like go back to my older Instagram stuff and be like, what is that anatomy? What is that thing you've done there? Randall coming in with the great one. Laura does not want to be Ash Ketchum. She does not want to be the very best. Yes, that is why we're artists and not Pokemon trainers.
Could you be both?
You can, why not both? Sarah, you are now the little taco girl with the soft shells versus the hard shells. Like, why not both?
Yeah, I got that commercial.
Yeah, again, the amount, when we were talking about the smoke detectors, there was I think it's a Duracell commercial that has a whole bunch of different like cut shots of different things you might need Duracell for, and one of them is this guy in the middle of the night like walking around his house trying to find which smoke detector is beeping, and that's what I have thought of every time it's come up, because that's also in my brain. Good stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Nicole says she showed her dad a piece from she showed him a piece a couple years ago, and he was like, this looks like something you could already do 2 years ago. And like, all I can think of then is the scene in The Simpsons where it's Lisa and Ralph, and they were winding the tape, and right there, you can see where his heart broke. Like, right there is where she was crushed. Simpkins, yeah. I choose you. Oh, it's so good. I wish Andre was here. He sent me that again this year, and it's just like, aw. Yeah, so Simpkins saying these children are adults, and I get that you are paying for their education, but maybe let them choose what they want to do and take, especially now, especially in the world that we're in now, where there's no guaranteed jobs, and you're going to have to work your butt off. Yeah. So Dell also says, I sit in on Zoom kindergarten, but I deliberately go someplace else during learning assessment time. Yeah. I feel like kindergarten is so different now than it was some years ago when we were in it.
Some years ago.
I was going to say, how long ago, Emily?
That's generous.
Don't make me do the math. It was so long ago. Also, I had half-day kindergarten for a while, which was fucking dope. More time to play. I loved it. Some years. Also, everybody save reminder.
Oh. I was sort of bummed out with half-day kindergarten because my best friend was afternoon and I was morning. So he would hang out with my mom in the mornings because his mom worked. And then she would drop him off and pick me up. And it was just like, I couldn't tell if I was more jealous that my mom got to hang out with my best friend or if my best friend got to hang out with my mom all day.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
She always made cookies without me.
Oh. That explains a lot about you now as an adult. Now I make all the cookies.
What are those cupcakes and ice cream cones? You ever had those?
Yes. Okay. Oh. Yeah, let's see. So I was in, all right, so what was like 5? Yeah, so it would have been like 91, 92, I think, when I was in kindergarten. So.
Yeah, how old are you in kindergarten? I don't even know. Is it 5 or 6?
Yeah, 5.
So I think it's, so I also have a summer birthday. So I think I was right on that weird, like, you either send me when I'm 5 or you wait a whole nother year until I'm like 6+ to go. So I'm pretty sure I went at 5.
I think I was 6 because I have a winter birthday and I've always been older than most of the kids.
Yeah, I was definitely one of the younger ones in class, in school.
So that would have been 31 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. But hey, let's look at the monarch. Let's not think about it. The faces are so fun. I love her left hand. Oh, that hand is so good.
Thank you.
Oh, geez. So Simpkins says, if you can't write your name before entering kindergarten, you're considered to have developmental issues, which is insane. Because, like, I think I had a vague concept of it, but I was definitely not a champ at it. And Dell says, my kindergarten teacher had a set of blow up letter people in her classroom. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, like letter day was dope. I don't know why, but that was just. Nicole also says, God damn it, the talent. That cracked me up. Yeah.
What if you just had a really hard name? Like, my name is easy. Had a whole, like, my full name is 4 syllables.
Yeah, like what if it had a bunch of
know your first and your last, right, in kindergarten? What if, like, my cousin's last name was Zabronchik?
Yep.
Like, yeah, Jill is easy. Zabronchik is. It took me until I was like in high school to be able to spell her last name.
My cousins are Geisendorfer. So, like, it's 12
Wow.
letters. Like, yeah, we're just
I love that.
just a wee bit German.
No, but oh my god, what a fun! I mean, I get that it's probably annoying, you know, to spell it, but Jesus, what a powerful last name. Sorry, I'm just.
No, you're good.
Just tell them I love their. I'm big fans. Big fan.
I never considered the difficulty of a name and spelling it. Probably because my name was really easy. Laura Taylor. Again, was it you said 4 syllables?
Yeah. Well, I like that you went from Laura Taylor to Laura Charles. Like, you really.
Yeah, I'm branching out. It was like a really big jump.
That's funny.
Mine's 4 syllables, including my middle name.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sarah Ann Will. Like, it was.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Extra
Funny.
names.
I'm an Ann, too.
AstraZeneca. How do you even say that one?
Oh, jeez. Let's see.
What's up, Ian? What you need?
Oh.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Doing good with the training.
It's Polish. Okay. Yes. Very
good.
much German.
Fill them in a little bit. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, Dell, anytime you want to sing Letter People, I'm here for it.
Because I finished all the other stuff you asked us to do. We're just want you to check the trainer and see if anything else needs done.
You guys can take a break. You've been working out for a while.
AstraZeneca.
What's up?
That's not hard. That's not as hard as I thought it would be.
Okay? You can have a small snack.
Polish, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah, Nicole. So Nicole is in Austria. But yeah, she said that was Polish.
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm really bad at reading the full.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
good. So it gets going really fast. So, which is good. I like it.
I feel guilty because I keep picking cartoons that are pretty quick. I
No,
think I might be done.
I was gonna say I think I'm actually done with my first one, which
Nice.
I was gonna say, don't feel guilty. It just means you have to do a second one.
again, like I planned it. I also for the first time was like, hey, you know what? Maybe don't do a full body on both of your characters, or do, I don't know, 5 characters. Looking at you, ThunderQuest. What? It's fine. Okay.
I have a request to show.
Yeah, let's see that art, Sarah Will.
I keep reading the warning pop-up,
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Oh, how cute!
but this is for Randall.
I love
They're so cute.
I just spent last night looking at romance novel covers for like 2 hours.
Oh my god, amphibian books. I love it so much.
I used my my pen name. It's
I still
Randall
have,
Subject.
yeah, I remember making you shirts with that in like the lounge type thing. Where is it? You got an oh my god from Randall. You got it from Hebe Buffet, and you got a perfect from Mayor Squish. Hebe Buffet also says identify as the Bev Big Head of Drag. Oh god, I love it.
All right,
So
I'm
funny because
going.
I can hear Randall's "Oh my god" in my head. Like I know exactly what his "Oh my god" sounds like.
Oh, Sarah, that's great. That turned out
I'm gonna
great.
relinquish share screen now. Maybe I should draw my first idea was Ren and Stimpy on the back of Mr. Horse,
Yes.
riding him on the beach. Which sounds really gross, but he's a horse, so it's not actually gross.
And as we learned from our internet searches of cartoons, it could be gross, even if you didn't.
Equal opportunity fandoms going on here. That's fine.
I feel like everything can be gross on the internet.
Isn't that
Basically
one of the
everything.
internet rules? I feel like that's an internet rule.
Mm-hmm.
Everything can be gross.
I don't think I learned that until I was older than I probably should have been.
Well, and dare I say, as we talked about what year we were in kindergarten, I also think that's indicative of when the internet entered our lives and like when we started going online and the evolution of the internet itself. I feel like we were already aware enough of it, but it had changed so drastically so that new people coming in kind of understood the rules starting with it. But we'd also been like, hey, you know what's fun? Let's message strangers in chat rooms. That seems safe. So it's fine. We all made it. Yes,
Except-
Belle is completely right. Avenue Q says the internet is for porn. It is true. It is true.
The idea that all new technology eventually, or one of the first things is that it becomes porn in some way.
Because we are not as evolved as we might like to think we are. Dinner's ready. Okay, I got a call.
I
Also,
like to
Jeff,
think we
your kid mentioned snack. Now all I want is snack. I'm sorry, Kristen. What did you say?
I don't even remember. You said snack, and now I was thinking of snacks.
It's all it takes. happens in my classes too. Like as soon as someone's like, "I'm hungry," or "I need to go to the bathroom," everyone's like, oh, "I need to do that too."
I forgot to eat lunch, and my Brent amazingly made me tater tots and brought them over. So that was good.
That is awesome. All right. Also, to your comment from before, Nicole, I like that you know where this pose came from so that you're getting that fun crossover vibe. So I stole this pose from Jane the Virgin, which I have watched none of, but it spawned a whole conversation chat yesterday during my stream, and it was kind of funny. And I was like, I guess I need to watch this now because I got rave reviews from the chat.
Oh my gosh. Just realized how cold I was. I didn't realize I was cold.
Paul and Nicole are like the time I met all my friends, and Paul's like, all your friends and yep. Yes. Yeah, I think that might be something I do today while I'm working on some art. I might put that on. So for those of you who don't know, so Soapbox Clots in the chat and Mayor Squish are engaged. So you said this one time on the internet, a strange Euro chick messaged me, and she didn't ask me to help a Nigerian prince, nor did she steal my kidneys yet.
Yeah.
And Nicole says, there's still time.
I was going to say, you're not married yet, so.
Holding out for that honeymoon. Which one is the kidney anniversary? I always forget.
I think it's 3. Those are the odd ones. It's not like the normal ones.
Right.
Looking up reference for sketching a second, and I totally forgot about Star and Marco.
Ooh.
Yeah, but there were so many other couples in that show.
Yeah, but I was shipping Star and Marco from episode 1. I was ready for it. Problem where I binge entire seasons of shows and then I get upset when the network won't just release new episodes instantaneously.
But why? I'm ready.
What do you mean you need to spend time animating this show?
Can't you just work faster?
Why is it not done?
You just have to hit the animate button and everything is done.
I love the animate button. It's my
Don't you
favorite.
just use computers to do that anyway?
Couldn't tell this was hitting close to home for you, Jeff, could we?
When I was at the Art Institute the first time in the late '90s, my roommate worked at Kohl's department store, and he worked with this girl, and she said she hated 3D animation because the computer just does all the work for you.
What?
Yeah. He's like, I hate her. I can't stand her. She doesn't think we do anything.
Oh no!
You just need to inform her that she's wrong.
Someone hit her. The animator in me just like started flailing with punches.
We just push one button and everything's done.
Yeah.
I've only taken like 2 animation classes, but that is incorrect.
You draw one drawing, you draw another drawing, and you hit the tween button, and everything is fine. You don't have to adjust anything. Everything is done for you.
See, I tried that and it didn't work.
This is way
For
too
whatever
smooth.
reason, my animation instructors didn't like it when I did that. So
Oh my god.
My
And
favorite
that is
thing
It's
why-
automatically lit. It just does all the lighting for you. Like,
Yeah. Auto texture, my favorite.
Yeah, everything's fine. It's fine.
Oh gosh. Yeah, people are special.
murderous intent.
I wouldn't say I'm violent. My kids just act on their own.
I don't like to hit people, but
Oh gosh.
But I will.
there are appropriate times for everything.
Exactly. Well, and I think it's, as we were talking about that, like remembering back to the days of, Toy Story when that first came out, and I think the assumption of the general public about how that was made and just the true lack of understanding of how much time and much effort it actually, and how many humans it takes to make something like that.
yeah.
Did all of Toy Story on one computer, it would take 97 years. It'd be a little different now.
That's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop tweaking and draw some data.
It's amazing what just putting a background in can do sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Well played, Imaginary Nomad. So it says hit staple button. Hit staples button. That was easy. Yep.
We
it's
had one of those in Invention Land. We had one of those buttons that we kept pressing, especially when we were up in the loft. We would hit the button and it'd echo throughout the whole place, and people were like, "Shut up!" That was easy.
Oh god. Again, speaking of commercials that were everywhere for a while. Also, Kristen Randall's calling you out. Said Kristen over here with the soft romantic moonlight coloring.
Hell yeah! I mean, come on. Got the romantic princess couple. You got to get all that going.
Hey.
Don't at me.
It's okay. Literally yesterday I was working on just like the rough shapes of the poses, and I had lasso tooled one of the heads, and I was moving it closer to rearrange it, and I was like, now kiss. Now kiss. And I'm just like, oh, you need to not be alone so much, I think. It's fine. It's fine. So Soapbox says, my parents. So people watch other people play video games on the interwebs? Me. Yeah, them. Why? Me. You catch the ball game last night? Ooh.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's a
just
great
watched a little clip of, it's Jenny Slate from her Stage Fright stand-up, and it's her talking about how it's just so precious that boys have their sports and stuff like that, and it's spicy, but boy is it funny. So I enjoy it. As a person who enjoys sports and has teams that I follow. I was still like, oh, this is good. It also, was talking about Tom Brady and Gronk, and the way she referred to them made me laugh. So. All right, so Simpkins says, you guys heard about how they almost deleted most of Toy Story 2 and the project was saved because an animator who had just given birth was working from home and had
Yeah,
a back
she's
from
working
her
from home.
house.
I did hear about that.
That's dope.
It's
Grow up,
insane.
though. I'm glad it happened, but also. Blah.
Yep. Yep. Right. What is that? Yeah.
Maybe I'll have time to do a second one, she says, and then she spends so much time doing the goddamn background.
Oh, I also caught a glimpse of it. Jeff is doing something dope with his background too. Guys, Look at it. Ah, they're so cute.
Aw.
So
It's like a
cute.
Valentine's card that you would get. Like,
Yes, I'd buy the shit out of that Valentine's card.
yeah, it needs to have a choo choo choose me, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to put on it. Like it needs something up top here. I left room for
Wow. Let's
stuff
see.
up there.
I'm trying to think of the terrible things they can say. Like,
Right.
oh, here's to a love that doesn't fly away.
Right.
Oh, what else is terrible? There's got to be something gross about like being in a cocoon or something like that. Oh, nice. Yeah, I would love to check that out. Okay, so anyone interested, popped up in the chat. If you'd like to see the link about the Toy Story thing that Simkin just mentioned, there it is in chat. So I can save that. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. That's great. And you, yeah, you and you. Oh, that turned around.
Sorry, can you guys hear that?
I could. But also, part of that's because I have my headphones on, so it picks up. Because I am very deaf and cannot hear most things.
That means everyone gets to hear it. All right.
Ooh. Dell says you put a pin through my heart. Like that. Imaginary Noman said he needs that as a sticker. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like that would be such a great sticker. Oh, I love it. Also, when we were talking about Valentine's, like I want them to be the really terrible ones that have like the perforation all around them that you have to like rip out to give people. Like the super old school ones.
I love those.
I did too. Those. If you're gonna
But I
bring
love them now.
everyone have enough for everyone in class.
Yeah, actually, I think I love them now. I don't think I was particularly enamored of them as a child, but I like them now because of that nostalgia factor.
Oh, wait, hang on. It's not picking you up.
oh, Neko conversation hearts. Yeah, no.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sorry. I had to brain that. Mm-hmm.
Process.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slow today.
Feeling ya. I had a 12-hour day yesterday. Hopefully your grant luck is contagious. We're trying to get a grant to do stuff through work, and just fun stuff through work. So it's like extra money, but we were waiting to hear if we got through the first round of selection, and the selection date like came and went, and my boss was like, I guess we didn't make it. And I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. And then yesterday morning at 10:30, she goes, oh, so the email was in my spam folder.
No.
You have 24 hours to make a 1.5-minute video.
What?
Oh my god, you just gave me so much stress. Oh.
Sarah, are you okay? How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna drink some wine after art tonight. So.
Hey, well deserved. Oh my god. Yeah, so it stresses me out that things ending up in the spam folder is still a thing. And at least for mine, so I use Gmail primarily, but I have it set so that if something does show up in my spam, it moves up to the top and shows that there's an unread message in it. So anytime there's spam, like I know it's there, but oh gosh, no, it's still like, check your spam, people, check your spam. Yes, Nicole, you're not wrong. I had to brain that. It's the brain worms. They're strong.
Could make a good sticker out of that. Like,
Sticker spam.
no, I had to brain that.
I had to brain that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because so Nicole was streaming recently and she was cutting up a bunch of stickers that she'd printed. Also, Doodle Crew hide because she totally made Doodle Crew stickers, which I love.
Oh,
but
those
as,
were from that. That's cool. Sorry.
yeah, no, they
Thank you.
look great. I'm super excited. But as she was doing that, I was like, man, I really want to make stickers again. And like, I was like, I could put them up on my Etsy. That is a thing that does seem to move on it. All right. It's like, again, like Sarah, I think you said it the one week. Like, let me just make more work for myself because I have all of these ideas.
Will gladly make all the things. It just may take me 7,000 years.
Yeah, I keep thinking about doing like one of the like Society 6 or Redbubble or something.
Yeah.
Like I know you don't get very much out of it, but it's kind of like I would just have to upload. I'd have to edit the picture, of course, but like it would be less work than actually ordering, printing, stocking, and shipping my own stuff.
Right.
Which I definitely don't have time for.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does anyone here do anything like that?
And Robbie
No.
does.
I have other friends that do, but I don't. I was doing the thing where I like do all the shipping and send it out myself, and yeah, it's a ton of work. And having just to like go to the post office like every day is a lot of hassle.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it when you're planning it out in your head or like thinking about it, but then yeah.
That's true. It really doesn't seem like a lot, but then it's like, wow, okay, I don't have packaging material. Gotta go get that. Gotta go to the post. It's a lot of extra expense I never remember to factor in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just bad at it, but I do not miss that. I kind of stopped. Took a hiatus and then I never went back.
Nicole is cheering all of us on though. She says, "Do it. She'll be our Etsy buddies."
Oh,
She has a TeePublic store. Is that just for T-shirt stuff, or is that like Redbubble and Society 6, where it's your logo on anything? Like you could get a coffee.
Yeah, you can do lots of stuff on that. Like you can. It's mainly for T-shirts, but they have mugs and phone cases and all that good stuff. Stickers. And I'm not sure what the quality is like on most of the stuff. Their T-shirts are pretty decent.
Yeah, they're not
but
bad.
they've also varied in like I'm wearing a TeePublic shirt right now. Which this one's great. It's nice and soft, but then I've also gotten ones that have lasted like it looked great when I first got it, and then I washed it once and the stuff just came off of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they don't have a very good quality assurance department there, I don't think. Because I mean, if you complain to them, they'll be like, "Oh, let's just send you a new one." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great, but like, this can't be saving you guys money."
Problem?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I wonder too, because of how big they are, I'm betting they have to have like different printers, either that they contract with or they have different locations set up. So I'm wondering if like one of the studios is really good and one of them isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That
So
could
Nicole
definitely be the case.
because like we were a smaller contractor for a big, like the sporting goods thing was nationwide, and we were just one decorator that did stuff. Yeah. So Nicole says stickers, magnets, phone cases, bags, face masks, sweaters, notebooks, etc. So, Laura, I know Megan Cook does a lot. She's also part of the Doodle Crew. She does a lot of stuff through one of them, and I'm blanking on which one it is now. But any of her site stuff, you know, she does a lot through there. So I would hit her up for what she's set up.
That's a good idea. I will do that. Yeah, I keep thinking about it, and again, like just not doing it. I'm really bad about following through in general. But
and I think it's, as we've talked before, it's a lot like the social media side of it. Like to keep a posting schedule, a tagging schedule, like updating your Patreon and all of that, like that's almost its own job on the side. And it's nothing like creating art. It's the whole business side of it and the marketing side of it. And while I do enjoy aspects of it, it's not creating art. Like I get to do the creation of art, and then I have to take another like 4 hours to do all of the other stuff with it. And
yeah, because I definitely get people requesting if I do prints and stuff, and I'm like, I mean, I used to, but it's just so much extra work, and I barely have time just to do art.
Yeah.
So I just haven't been able to figure out how to do it effectively yet.
On the side of like what you were saying, Emily, where like it's its own job, you have to like schedule and figure all this stuff out. So I attempted as a way to kind of like combat that was treating it like a game. Like I do all the research on like the algorithms and like all this hashtag stuff, and it was almost like I treat it like a research project / like a game. Like I'm going to crack this pattern. Like, and I found that actually, if I got really, because this goes back to something else we were talking about, just like the love of learning. I was like, I'm going to learn how this convoluted system works, and I'm going to like crack the algorithmic code. And that always kept me kind of like engaged enough.
Oh, I like that.
Where I wanted to participate.
I also, Steph mentioned one time when we were on stream that like when she's grading papers, she'll give herself an M&M reward after she grades each paper. And I was like, I can also be motivated by food. So maybe like, all right, you get a snack after you post all your social medias.
I should try that. I definitely, the learning
give me
thing,
ideas.
The learning thing held me over for a really long time, but like 2 years ago, it just stopped working for me. I think partly because I got a full-time day job. So I just have limited time, and the time that I do have, I'd rather be painting. So, but that M&M idea sounds pretty good. Like,
oh, too funny.
Magic word, M&Ms.
Oh, say it again, Sarah.
Some might call it magic. I have a not very popular opinion that M&Ms are the worst candy.
Oh, that's fair.
They don't
I'm
put
interested.
chocolate in. It's like the gimmick is the shell. So the chocolate they put inside is not great. And the only way that they're edible is putting other stuff inside that shell other than just their chocolate.
I agree with that. I don't like regular M&Ms.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely
You
like
make a reasonable point.
a lot of the other ones a lot better. I like, it's one of those where I like the chocolate fix, so that makes me happy, but it's also a very, like, I don't have great self-control when it comes to candies. So, you know, the same thing, like I could do it with like Skittles or something where I can set myself a small amount so that even if I am going to eat, you know, 30 of them because I made 30 posts or something like that, I'm not actually consuming that much. So I need that bite size mentality thing. So
That makes sense to me. I would probably choose like peanut M&Ms instead. But yeah, I like that. Just a little bit at a time thing.
yes. And it feels like a reward. So Hebe said, where'd he go? Yeah. I've been watching some little Twitch tip videos about naming videos and stream structures. Yeah, no, there's, like Kristen was saying, the algorithm side of it and getting your stuff seen and coming up in people's searches or just popping up in randoms. Like there's a whole hierarchy bananas thing to that. So
It's really fun to try to like suss out. I don't know why. I just find like some enjoyment in like, I'm going to crack you. I'm going to figure this. It's like an escape the room or something, but in reverse.
I will break you.
Oh
That's the German coming out. I will break you. All right. Wait, how does hair work? I think I'm just gonna go behind. Also, it's probably time for a save check. I'm sure I missed the.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh yeah, Hebe. I ran into similar things with my own personal streams and with Doodle Crew, and then when I was streaming on other channels and what I was a part of, and yeah, it's building that brand, which when it's done is really cool, but up until that point is a pain in the butt. And yes, Simkin, I totally agree. I like chocolate and popcorn, especially movie theater popcorn. I also love popcorn. So you add chocolate to that, and oh, yeah, I can eat lots.
Emily, did you hear that our local theater will sometimes just sell candy right now? Like they'll
I know
just have
they're
a candy
like
sale.
curbside popcorn.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What?
I'm gonna need more on that. Yeah, so some of the theaters were doing like you just called in and had a you just call in and set it up, and then you could order some of their like freshly popped popcorn. So
I'm sorry, but movie theater popcorn, like I know it's all chemicals. I get that, but I still love it.
I don't care. Also, you know how much of that nacho cheese from like hockey arenas that I've eaten? That's definitely not food. That's definitely, but I've eaten a lot of it. I'm like, I'm gonna live forever. I'm just gonna be synthetic at some point. That's how that works. Yeah, I love it. Get that and some Dippin' Dots, and I'm happy.
Oh, Dippin' Dots.
Maybe our next stream should just be like draw snack foods. Just
So, how about we draw snack foods as characters? Because I'm down for that. And then we get to
do
talk
that
about
too.
snacks. Yeah. Also, like I like little food things that kind of hurt me a little bit. So the fact that like the flash frozen ice cream like adheres to my tongue and my cheeks and hurts me a little bit, like that's what I want out of my candy. Masochistic candy.
Like the warheads that were so sour they hurt.
Oh yeah, that was softball for years growing up. Also, Sarah, I totally cut you off. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, we talked about doing punny things too.
Yeah.
And I sent out that link to the artist that does animal food puns, like the pug-tato and.
Oh, they were so cute.
Super cute.
Yeah, so I'll throw it to chat. Would you guys enjoy something like that for a Saturday morning cartoon? Because we would kind of be drawing in that
Saturday morning
idea.
breakfast cereal sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something you guys would like. I know we touched on it and it was a perfect segue and then I got distracted. We are looking into making these Saturday morning cartoons somewhat of a regular event. So possibly once or twice a month. So it would always be on Saturday. It would always be around the same time. Again, different artists like we've been doing. Oh, the Breakfast Crew. Yeah. Dell, you are so good at this. My goodness. She comes up with the best stuff. Yeah. So that is something that we're looking at. And obviously it's schedule dependent, but we definitely want to keep this one going and do more Saturday morning cartoons. Okay, what did I miss? Also, Hebe Buffet in all caps said, "Have you heard or have you had the Hers roasted sweet corn popcorn?" And I haven't, but it sounds amazing, and I want to find it. Like, right? How
Tell me more. You have intrigued me.
Oh,
Don't leave it hanging at that.
bunch of crunch. All right, I'm writing down the Breakfast Crew so that I don't forget it.
It hurts you. I am all about Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain Crunch is the best.
Yeah, like tear up that roof of my mouth. Give it to me. I want more.
It tastes like corn on the cob but in popcorn form? Wow. No.
That's
That sounds so amazing.
Weird and
I've
amazing.
never even heard of this. Is it like a recipe that you make, or is it like somebody
It's
sells it?
The brand Hers, HERR''S. But I wonder if it's in like specific locations that it's sold, or if it's all over.
Like a regional thing.
Yeah, not that I go to the store anymore, but someday.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that brand at all. Oh, it's a bag popcorn at Rite Aid. Oh, interesting. Okay. Guess I'm going to Rite Aid later tonight.
Right. Did you think of a tagline, Jeff?
I'm getting there.
Getting there? Okay. No, Hebe, you're okay.
It has to punch you in the face.
Target has it too. Okay. I'm like super interested in what you're giving me here, Evie.
What you're laying down, picking up.
What you're laying down, I am picking right up. I'm going to give her a bold lip because she would.
Once I found lipstick, I actually liked how it felt when I was wearing it. I was all about that bold lip. Up until that point, I was like, this is terrible. I hate this. Why would anybody do this? Why would anybody do this more than once?
You also got to find the kind that like sits well, like both skin tone wise and just. There you go. That'll work.
But also, I'm really digging this because we're drawing existing characters that I can just pull the color palette right from what they've already done. I don't have to design anything on my own. I can just eyedropper those colors and drop them in, and it's delightful.
And that is exactly why I picked my characters, was just that I liked their colors. Hal and Sophie have some really nice, just like contrast.
Especially with the white hair that you've got with her, and when he's in like Blackbird form, because it's just so stark and looks so dope.
Yeah, I like the comparisons.
That movie is gorgeous. So.
Have you guys seen or thought at all about the new one? That's the name I can't remember. That was very descriptive.
The 3D one?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh no, I had it. I can't think. I kept wanting to
Oh,
see
it's on HBO. It's the witch and the earwig and the witch, right?
That's it is. I was like, I see witch in it, but it's not Mary and the Witch's Flower. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it's different, but it looks cool.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm turning into a crotchety old person.
I'll agree though with. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Possibly also the crotchety old person part, but yeah. It's just, I hate to be like that, it just is too different, but it is a little too different. I don't know.
Well, and
I don't know yet.
That style is so specific and so much like one studio, one person type thing that I think the changeover from that makes it that much weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Also 3D.
I'm withholding judgment, but the animation I saw, and Jeff, maybe you, I'm not an animator. I didn't feel like I guess the animation looked okay. I don't know, the colors and the lighting, I don't know, something about it I didn't think was as great as some other animation I've seen.
Yeah, I came close to watching it last night, but I just didn't pull the trigger on it. Like I looked at it and I was like, I should watch this, but I don't know. I'm so much more of a 2D guy than I am a 3D guy anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of 3D places. Like I don't know, like I hate cell shading on 3D stuff. Like I hate it. I don't know. I'm like, why didn't you just do it in 2D? If you want it to look like a 2D thing. And I'm not sure if that's. I don't even think I've even watched a trailer for this yet. But yeah, there is definitely something weird about the
I've
way it
seen
looks.
cell shading that I like, but I feel like a lot of it doesn't work.
Well, and that's what I was
Yeah.
just thinking. Like, more often than not, it just looks like a bad. Like Jeff said, like you could have animated this in 2D and made it look great, and
Yeah.
instead, the only two, like the two that are coming to mind right now, is the Paperman short that looked like
Yeah.
That's
I
beautiful.
loved that.
Yeah.
I loved
That-
that one.
and
That
the
was very
movie,
good.
the most recent movie Klaus, about like he's a letter carrier.
Yeah.
That was
Like
gorgeous.
that one looks cool.
Yeah.
He
I
was-
mean,
that was great.
a lot of that was traditional too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the Klaus stuff. But yeah, those are definitely two examples where it's really done really well. I mean, I've seen good 3D elements put into 2D shows that have been cel shaded that look really, really good. But as far as like a whole aesthetic for an entire project to all be done in 3D and then given that 2D filter on it, I'm not a fan of it at all.
Yeah.
Let's-
I will be right back. I gotta go do a thing, but I'll be back in a couple
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah, you're good.
Wasn't Spider-Man part? I feel like they had. I mean, it wasn't just cell shaded on top, but
Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah, Into the Spider-Verse was definitely
Yeah,
not just
they did.
3D animation.
It's so funny. So Imaginary Nomad, who's been in chat, he and I are working on an animation podcast, and we just did an episode where we covered some of the stuff and how Sony did a lot of that animation, and again, like building their own software so that they could do all of these overlays and all this different like graphic elements to it, and the way that they animated it, and it's really cool. There's a couple of like behind the scenes how they made them videos on YouTube that I would definitely recommend checking out, because it's just gorgeous. And I mean, I love the behind the scenes stuff, but it's really cool. It's really well done. And it's just oh, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
love
just
the
gonna
animation on that.
chat now. All right, Randall, I'm gonna pin that one and say it to Jeff when he comes back.
Oh, the Dragon Prince one?
What was that? Oh, the I'd venture to say you're my Valentine.
Oh.
So good. It's so groany. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh. Let's see. Guess another villain. Okay, so Peppermint said, I saw Earwig. It was pretty good, but felt a little odd as their first 3D film. The story cut off just when it gets good. There's something or some making of bits at the end that are really worth it. So that's cool. Randall says, people keep telling me to watch The Dragon Prince on Netflix, but I can't because of that whole trying to pass 3D off as 2D thing. Yeah. It's, and Paul even says, yeah, the animation was distracting. And that I think is a failing. I think if you're trying to make an enjoyable movie, but people are so pulled out of it because you are working in 3D, but trying to make it look 2D, like either commit to just making it in 3D style and lean into that, or go and make it in 2D, make it in Flash or any of the other software now.
On that same topic, but kind of in the other direction, there are a lot of studios, especially in regards to like anime and things like that, that are doing obviously a 2D animated series, but that they use 3D very subtly and not for the things you would think. Like now they're actually just about every single time you have a full body shot of a character and the character's walking, like a normal walk cycle, it's completely 3D. And they do a very amazing job at the cell shading, but then again, they're trying to replicate the actual 2D of the entire show. And that it's not just for like background characters, it's for main characters, because there's lots of, walking shows passage of time sort of thing. And rather than having to animate walk cycles, they do all this kind of 3D work. And there's a lot of studios that are specializing in this now. Now, there are tons of animes that are trying to go the full 3D route, but I think this merger of like 3D, 2D is really successful. And when you don't notice it, obviously, is when it's the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But there are some series that are doing that, and it is extremely impressive.
I think that's
That
what
was
really
my
kind of
cat.
bothers me is that what? Is there a
Hello.
kitty?
I'm sorry, I got so distracted by the cat. That was a big old mew.
Kitty.
Yeah, that's like, why aren't you playing with me, Meow? Hi. Just a stream. So this is Mia. Well, her full name is Mischief. This is Mischief. Mischief's off to commit some mischief.
Yeah.
Too cute. Yeah, it was the one that always springs to mind is the Batman movie Sub-Zero, because I remember even as a kid when that came out being so frustrated with like the 3D submarines and stuff like that, and then like 2D polar bears swimming next to them. Like, it was so jarring. It was upsetting. Now, obviously, that's a throwback. That was years and years and years ago, early days. But like, if it's going to be that jarring to me, then I don't want it. Like, I don't want the integration of the two. But I'm with you, Kristen. I think if you can successfully do it, it is absolutely a great way to utilize both tools and both ways of animating.
And it is
Yeah.
being successful. It's just we don't hear about it because you don't notice it because it's so good. It's when you do notice it, it's bad, but obviously.
I think that might actually be part of why it bothers me so much is I'm so used to like the Ghibli studios being like top notch, just really pushing everything. And so for me, it feels kind of like just not as good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. And I think that's the, like you said, his studio and his is so specific and so instantly recognizable that it's almost uncanny valley for his own style, where like you got close and it looks like it's almost supposed to, but there's something that your brain is picking up as being wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll see it eventually, but
So Simpkins says, don't talk to me about Ghost in the Shell, SAC 2045. It looks so bad compared to the other seasons of SAC, which were more traditional. The lighting is god-awful. Vehicles in 2D shows are almost always 3D rotoscoped as well. Yeah, which, again, like with some of the crazy, like the ships in the Atlantis, like Disney's Atlantis movie. Like all of those ships like swimming through the water when they're fighting the Leviathan and all of that, like it made sense to do a lot of these things in 3D. But
And I think that's a perfect opportunity to use the 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But, and like you said,
Right.
you know, we notice it when it's done poorly, and that's when it's talked about, not always celebrated when it's done well.
Yeah. And it can be done very well for humans. It's just so seldom are they ever done well for humans.
Also used to do physical models for vehicles and film them and then print directly onto the cells. So it was already inked. So that's why the Cruella's car looks so crazy in 101 Dalmatians.
Also, she looks so crazy in that scene. That scene still scared me.
one of my favorite things I ever saw was they did a physical dollhouse model of the house in Up. And I got to see it in person. I happened to get to do a tour around Pixar, like their studio offices, and they had it like in their lobby.
Oh my gosh, that's
in a
so
glass case.
cool.
It was so amazing. It was really cool. And I was kind of like, someone got paid to do it. Like so jealous. Yeah, I always like the physical model. I don't think we really hear about the physical model part of filmmaking very much, as far as like the concept art.
Or miniatures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really miss seeing all kinds of like miniature art for movies.
Yeah.
They recreated the full Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood set because the studio didn't have space to keep it. So they threw it away, the original model.
Oh,
They like kept it for as long as they could, and then they were just like, well, I guess we're gonna put this in the dumpster.
that's heartbreaking.
One in the new movie, they had to make again.
Oh, why didn't they just sell it? At least then, probably, hopefully, someone who, I guess maybe they couldn't find a buyer at that point. It has, I don't know.
If they even tried, it could have just been one of those things where they didn't think anyone would buy it, and they just went, "Well." But
Yeah.
Or it could have been things like, you know, bookstores when you have too many books, you just tear the covers off and throw them out. Just damage it before. Don't want people to get free books. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about that anymore.
You're good. It's just upsetting. Oh, okay. So Nicole says, Laura, teach me your watercolor magic. Yes. Yes, Nicole.
Oh.
100%.
I haven't done a close-up of it.
Oh, it looks so cool. Oh my gosh, I love what's happening with his head and oh, that's so dope.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I
was originally planning on making his head all much darker, but I think I'm going to leave it.
Oh, I think that looks great because you're still getting a great pop of contrast between her really white hair and that dark behind it. So
yeah.
That looks awesome. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, and yes, thank you for bringing that back into my nightmares, Pappy Man, the horrific rat monster in American Tail.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Also, can we talk about Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective on the clock tower? All the nightmares.
Vincent Price.
Yes.
It's charming.
That movie is
and it's
really
most Vincent Priceist too.
I really liked that movie, but boy, is it creepy at times.
It definitely was from a different era of children's movies.
Yeah.
First movie to use 3D.
Oh, the Secret of Nim. I love that movie, but I watched it recently and I was like, it is terrifying. I would not show this to my nieces.
Yep. That one scared me too.
That owl.
It was one of the worst for me.
Oh, I love it so much.
Mine was always the very first rat that Mrs. Brisby encounters when she first gets into the rose bush, and he never has a line, and I think he has like a really normal name like Chuck or Todd or something. I was like, oh, that's Todd. He's just the doorkeeper.
Like, oh, he's fine. I think the owl was probably the scariest thing for me.
Yeah.
Brutus.
What else? What was that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was Brutus. Still a normal name for a mouse, I feel. A rat.
What was I? Shoot, I was just saying. Oh, it was pretty much anything that Don Bluth was doing because All Dogs Go to Heaven scared me.
Oh.
Even parts like I love it, and I watched it a lot later, but parts of Anastasia are not super kid friendly. Like when it's Rasputin and he's falling apart and he's singing about dragging you to hell, like that's
right.
So fun part about that, his song in the dark of the night, it has all those like weird dancing bugs and stuff, was not that. They actually filmed the song and it was extremely demonic, and he had a bunch of like devils and little like fire imps, and it was very like hellscape-ish. Very much like Night on Bald Mountain, where they had like these like ghostly skeletons, sort of like Fantasia's Night on Bald Mountain. And then censors were like, no, you're not doing this.
You can't children.
So then they like made it super kid friendly with these weird dancing bugs that like never become part of the movie ever again. But yeah, it was most definitely going to be much worse than it was.
I love
really
that that's the scaled back version.
Because
God.
there was a lot of people who listened to the soundtrack, because the soundtrack actually came out before the movie came out. It was one of the first times that they like released the soundtrack so early, and because they already released the soundtrack, they couldn't redo the song because they originally wanted them to completely redo the whole song because they thought it was too violent about him talking about how he's going to kill her. But they already released the music, and so they were like, okay, I guess we'll just animate it with some cute bugs to make up for the horrific things he's singing about. That checks out.
With that too, with it actually being based on true events, I'm like, just wait till the kids find out what really happened. Yikes!
So much worse. So much worse.
So much worse. Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna butcher this name, but Laura Soapbox Clot says I'm getting a hint of Yoshitaka Amano vibe from Laura's piece. Perhaps the way the composition is laid out. He digs it.
Oh no, I don't know that person.
I don't know that person either. Yeah,
I'm gonna Google them though. Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right. So I think I know who you.
Thank you.
It's the Final Fantasy artist, but yours looks better because their faces aren't fucked up. Oh, I love it. Oh God, I love it.
Thank you.
That's so good. Okay. You had just left, Jeff, but we got one. I venture to say you're my Valentine.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot. That one was from Randall. Sorry. Randall also
I definitely vote for that.
Big FF fan, but I don't like Amano. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I love the wispiness of all of the like weird little like mechanical things that come off of their headdresses and their costumes, but yeah, their faces are weird.
He's fascinating. You know, it's got a very Art Nouveau, the faces.
Yeah.
Like some of those really old Art Nouveau faces are kind of like strange. Like especially the fashion drawings.
Yes. Yeah, the fashion ones get really weird. I'm also
I
spoiled.
kind of like it. Thank you. I feel very flattered.
Your faces are not weird. Your faces look like faces.
I'm gonna let this dry for a second. The only downfall. At a certain point, you have to stop painting or everything gets fuzzy.
Fan or a blow dryer a lot of times because then it can move the paint.
Yeah. It's dry enough that I can do this. It doesn't seem to be hurting it. So, like that right in between point where it's still wet enough that it'll start spreading all over the place. But
no, so Paul apologizes. He said, I did not expect that comment to spark so much discourse. But no, I think that's great. Like, I think it's awesome. And especially with art, like the goal of art is to get an emotional reaction. So whether that's good or bad. And also, while I have them here, I'm going to petition for another time for Soapbox and Simkin and us to get on and chat some anime, because you pitched that on stream and I'm here for it. So, oh boy. So Randall says, Amano was also like, you know what? I'm a seasoned artist who's been working for decades. I don't need reference for anatomy. Breaks the character's neck. Logo art. Like, nah, I got this.
Where's the line?
Who needs necks? Oh, so I meant to ask Jeff, when you came back, are all of the children still intact?
Yeah, I had to feed them. You know, they like to eat multiple times a day, so I had to like give them food.
it sounds like so much work.
It is. It's a pain in the butt.
I feel like I would be at the point where I was like, are they too young to use the burners on the stove? They might be.
The oldest one can. He's almost 12. He can do. He's pretty self-sufficient when it comes to stuff like that. But like, he still hasn't mastered the art of like cracking eggs without just crushing them completely or anything. But he can make a sandwich. So, but
Okay.
the other two are kind of still relying on me to do things.
At what point can you get the oldest one to cook for the younger?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry.
Mm.
The comment in the chat. You don't just put a single Snickers on the table and let him fight to the death.
That's snack time, and that's on Thursdays.
Thursdays is Battle Royale Day.
That's right.
Makes them strong.
Thursday is every man for himself day.
Oh God, I love it.
Tim and Ron are too cute.
What was that?
Your Tim and Ron are too cute.
Oh, thank you. I actually really like how this one's turning out. I like this one.
It's a really cute drawing. I like the colors you're picking too.
Thank you. I thank the lovely artist who did all of the time at the studio, who picked them for me. No credit for any of the colors.
Where's Rufus though?
Oh, you're right.
Rufus.
Gotta have Rufus. No, good call.
He can be a you got the pose down, you got them right.
Can I just do him like superimposed at like 50% opacity, like over the shoulder, like the cat portrait of them, and then like him in the background?
Yes.
He is the Valentine's Day card.
Emily takes the nice piece of artwork that she's been doing and be like, it'd be funny. Oh yes, so we got some good feedback from the I'm clicking on the thing, but someone mentioned chatting anime. Yes. Also, Soapbox says, who needs a functional spine? Exactly. Just break the necks. It's like so this is to Jeff from Nicole. Jeff, Paul and I are both silently wondering if the stuff on the table behind you is miniature terrain stuff.
It is. I have I have so much crap on that table. But yeah, a lot of it's Warhammer stuff. So I used to play Warhammer a long time ago, and I just started getting back into it last year. So I have a ton of Warhammer 40K stuff and fantasy stuff, and I have a 3D printer, and I print terrain stuff and paint it up and stuff. But it's been a long time since I've painted, so. But yes, all that stuff is so much stuff. But yeah, my whole drawing table is covered in miniatures and paints and stuff.
Do you like painting minis? Sorry.
I didn't used to, but I think just that was probably just like a maturity thing, because the last time I played really was high school, and I didn't have the patience for it. But now like it's kind of like building the plastic kits and getting paint on them is kind of like my fun downtime stuff. Like drawing is, when you draw for a job, it's your job, and even though you say I'm drawing for fun, it still kind of has that connective tissue where it's like, this is my work as well. I still love doing it and everything, but this is like one of those things. It's like it's for me, it's like just it's a me time, relaxing hobby. Like my hobby was always drawing, and then drawing is my job as well. Like you have to have hobbies on other than just what you do for a living. So
Absolutely.
Last year I just kind of had this epiphany where I was like, my hobby's not really my hobby. I need to do something, and that was always something that was fun. And with the whole the whole quarantine thing, I kind of started falling back on stuff that made me happy as a teenager, so it was like, I don't know if it's midlife crisis stuff or what, but I was just like, I really liked Warhammer. I still like looking at this stuff, and I think I'm going to get back into it. So Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
So I think if you can find anything that's making you happy and keeping you sane during the global pandemic, no shame from anyone. If you're finding any joy in anything, like,
right.
Yes, more of that.
Yeah, I fell back into lifting weights and doing miniature stuff, and I mean, I still do all my art stuff, but doing that stuff, and
awesome.
you know,
Paul says Warhammer Bros tonight.
That's right.
Also, so Nicole says Paul will talk 40K all day. So, right?
This is my first venture into 40K. Like, I never played it when I was a kid. It was always just fantasy battle stuff. But then I was like, let me get into Space Marines because they always look so cool, and I have so many of them now. It's kind of ridiculous.
I feel like it kind of sneaks up on you too with that stuff because, like, you'll be like, "Oh, this buy a couple, and I'll do this, and I'll do this," and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh God."
Mm-hmm. Well, I fell into that like last year. Like, a lot of the like community is like New Year, New Army stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." Like, I have so much. There's more time because my kids can't do anything. We don't have soccer or sports to go to, and because that's usually what it was. It was like all running around and making sure they're all getting to where they need to go. My oldest was like so involved with a lot of stuff in school. Like, in 5th grade, he was in like student council and all this other stuff that I was never involved in and stuff. But like, he's like such a social kid that we were just running everywhere. And then they can't do anything now. So I was like, I have time to do some stuff. Let's see what I can do. So I kind of fell into that New Year, New Army thing. And I, eBay, and now that they're plastic instead of pewter, they're a little bit, I mean, they're not much cheaper. Like the actual company that makes them doesn't sell them for cheaper, but you can find them on eBay for a lot cheaper than you used to. So it's just like, it was a lot easier to amass this ridiculous amount of stuff. And now I'm sitting back there looking at my backlog of things I haven't painted, and I'm like, oh, I gotta stop buying things.
Same. Only mine are D&D minis.
I had I first ever D&D games last year as well, and I had a mini of my character made, and he's half painted now. But yeah,
Character minis that I bought from Hero Forge.
Yep, that's what I did. I went on Hero Forge and designed them up and had them done. That was before I had my 3D printer, so now I could just buy, the STL files for super cheap and just print them myself.
That's very cool. Yeah, I didn't know Hero Forge was a thing until like 8 months ago, and then I got on and played with this, and I'm like, well, this is the coolest fucking thing, and I need to play on this every day now.
The Eldritch Foundry is pretty good too, as far as options and stuff, but I think those are the two that I've only really played with.
But it is cool that you do have the option then to print them on your own at home.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of chat that happens. So, so Paul says, I'm awful at painting minis, but it's the only art I think I'm capable of. And no, I think you're selling yourself short, Paul, because it's tiny, delicate work, and it takes patience, and it takes, time, and that's not nothing. Simkin is sitting here masking Battletech minis. So Paul also says, I think the incredible thing is between the massive increase in the quality of sculpts and the explosion of content creators, the hobby is in a renaissance period. And
yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
I think so. Simkin says, as Del can confirm, these mech feet are annoying as hell to mask around. I can't even imagine. Because you can't zoom in. Like, at least with my art, I can always zoom in or get getting my magnifying glass down.
I get so frustrated. I'm like, I can't pinch and zoom. I can't make this bigger. I have to get it this close. And now that I have glasses, I just got these last year. Now that I have glasses, I can't put them up close because these aren't like reading glasses. I have to take off my glasses to pull the mini in. And then if I want to see it better, I got to put them back on. It's like, all right.
It's good. So it's not nearly as cool as that, and I'm completely aware. But there is something, and again, this isn't even as cool as what Sarah does. But you talk about like hobbies and like sitting down and like mending. Like if you've got like a hoodie and the pocket has started to come off, like just sitting and hand stitching that while a show is on, I find very relaxing. Because it's doing something with my hands and it's mending something, so I'm getting something done. I'm not just sitting and watching because I have trouble with that. But it's also the cross stitch, Sarah, that you do, that is this beautiful creative thing. Like if I miss a thing, it's fine because I'm literally just sewing my pocket back on. I'm not doing art. So
that's actually really great, because I was thinking someday when I'm doing art full time, sometime in my future, I already know what my hobby is going to be. It's going to be sewing like clothing for myself.
Oh, right.
Do not talk to me about hand stitching.
Wait, what was that?
So Kristen actually builds costumes, so I'm sure she has much different feelings on hand stitching.
Yeah, I have very different opinions about sitting on a couch and hand stitching for hours and days and weeks on end with like embroidery and beading and making stupid skirts with ruffles because you don't have the foot that can do it, so you have to do it by hand, and spandex. Don't get me started on spandex. Do a lot of cosplay, so yes.
See, that's
very different emotions.
I don't make shit. So I am literally just putting back together something that was already sewn for me. Like, no, I'm creating nothing. I'm just
I have a pile of stuff like that I should be working on, and I end up drawing instead, which is not bad. Should just stack it next to the couch so that it's right there.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, have you gotten any of the kiddos into playing with you?
Not yet. I keep threatening to do that. Like I have. So my oldest is kind of interested in it. They're still very much of the sucked into the Fortnite, Minecraft stuff. So trying to get them into other stuff is a little hard, especially now that like that's the way they communicate with their friends.
Right.
So like we're all getting on Fortnite now. We're all gonna have, that's how they talk and how they interact and stuff. So it's, kind of give them a lot of leeway right now. With that kind of stuff, because they're kids and it sucks right now to be a kid.
Yeah. So,
but I know my oldest kind of is interested in that, and I keep threatening. Like at the beginning of the year, we were trying to do this no electronics Sunday thing, so like nobody could be on their phones or all that good stuff on Sundays. And the first week went really, really great, and we all kind of hung out and played board games and stuff. And I was like, maybe we'll start getting like a weekly D&D game together, like an easy type thing where at least four of us could play. I mean, our youngest is 4, so he can't really do too much other than watch and help roll dice and stuff. But the rest of us could get involved in something, but that never really came to fruition because we kind of dropped no electronics Sunday after the second week when the kids were very upset that they couldn't be on their Switches. We're like, okay, go ahead. We don't need this headache. It's one of our 2 days off we have together. My wife, works 5 days a week. So, Sundays are one of those days where we actually are all together. We're just like, we don't need this stress on one of our days off. We're supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
So, eventually we'll get into it. But, I mean, they all have their own dice. And my wife has her own. My oldest has his own, and our 8-year-old has his own. But we just and I actually have enough sets of dice that everybody could have 2 sets. But that's just a weird thing. You start collecting dice and you're like, I need more sets. These are awesome. Like, why?
Yeah.
Can't use them all.
The story about your kids is super cute, though.
Like, as the dice fail me, I need to have that backup
Oh,
pair.
true. You do have to get rid of the trader dice. I just got this really cool one. I kickstarted this project here. It's like a gelatinous cube. It's a 6-sided dice. It's huge.
That's so cool.
It's really awesome. Yeah. The first one that they sent me, though, had this chip in it. So I was like, hey guys, when you shipped it and you only put it in a paper envelope, it chipped in delivery. They're like, well, let's send you another one. So now I have 2.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Oh, gelatinous cube. I love it.
Yeah.
Also, now I just want Jello.
Metal band that only does songs about like fantasy Dungeons and Dragons. But one of their newer-ish songs was just about the gelatinous cube.
That's great.
Saw them and they all dressed up and it was amazing.
What was that again?
I saw them at Spirit and they all dressed up.
That's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
In cosplay armor.
Yes. Well, do you remember kid we went to school with was a part of Bethlehem for a while?
Is it Bethlehem? It might be Bethlehem.
I honestly, like, I've listened to some of their stuff, but not super closely. Yeah, so like Doyle that I remember from school was with them for a bit, and they were like dress up and do cool stuff.
I bet it is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yep, it's them.
Hey!
Just found their song, Gelatinous Cube Labyrinth.
I'm gonna go ahead and call mine done.
All right, let's see.
I stole Randy's idea.
That's great. It looks so cool.
That's awesome.
I
Super
love
good.
it. Yeah, definitely. If you end up making cards or stickers of this, like drop that shit in the Discord because
I will do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna need one. Or I don't know, someday when we get to do a Comic-Con together again.
Someday. I see that the one that I was signed up for last year was that one that's gonna take place at the Steel Memorial Library in Elmira, and I see that they just changed their date again to next year, 2022. So
yeah, we unfortunately in this area we are still spiking from time to time, and being more rural and a little bit smaller, the number of vaccines available are still kind of not plentiful. So yeah, I haven't heard anything from the Three Rivers boys, and yeah, I don't know what the other local show. I don't know what T2C2 is gonna do.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I haven't down here like I haven't even heard from anybody from New Dimension, and I did some work for them last year, for to help them out with at the beginning of the pandemic. They wanted to sell some merchandise to kind of help keep them open. So I did a t-shirt design for them.
All those locations. I mean,
yeah, and but I haven't heard much I don't think anybody's planning anything yet. I highly doubt anything's going to happen this year.
Yeah, the only one I'm maybe optimistic for is Dragon Con, Labor Day weekend, but that's September, and that's the first one I'm actually making any plans for, and not even to show, just to go as a fan. So
yeah, well, and that's also there's so many people at that show.
There's so many. Yeah, I might adapt the just wearing a mask all the time thing, because not getting sick is kind of cool.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. Like, I was like, no. I mean, I've been struggling with my allergies all year, but I mean, I kind of have that problem anyway. But the kids haven't been sick. You know, my wife got a little bit sick, but she's dealing with it. Goes out of the house every single day. Has to deal with like the general public,
right?
And like, it's been so nice not having anybody colds or any flus or anything like that. I'm like, man, even if I get a sniffle, I'm probably gonna throw on a mask. Care about other people. Not that
Yeah,
hard.
I kind of like that going forward, or just the, if I am sick, maybe calling into work and being like, I'm not coming in, or if I am coming in, like, here's what I'm doing because I am sick, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, especially with you working with students, Emily, like definitely it makes a lot of sense.
because they're little germ monsters.
They are.
Yep.
They really are.
Like,
Thank
how
you,
did you
dose of
do it?
viral plague.
All right, so before we let you go, Jeff, I'm going to throw out one more time where you can find you. And I don't have it in there, but what is your Patreon again?
Patreon.com/Pocket Science. And then Twitter is gmoney, GMUNNY. And everything else I think is my name. My Instagram is Jeff Munn. I'm on Facebook under my own name. There's also a Pocket Science Studios Facebook page. But I'm mostly active on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. And anything that I post on Instagram goes to my Facebook page and all that good stuff. So it's kind of everything's kind of linked. So, but most places I can be found is usually Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, sweet. Let's see if there's somebody else. Oh, cool. And then and so awesome. Well done, Nicole. So she dropped your socials and everything in the chat as well. So yeah, that's great. Awesome. But thank you again. It's so great having you.
Yeah.
And I mean, selfishly, I just like hanging with you.
Yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. I love it. And yeah, I can't remember when I'm signing up again for another one, but I'll definitely try and get this picture-in-picture thing working.
Yeah, let me know. Just like again, hit me up on Discord or anything, and we can do a private chat and see if we can get it set. And that'll be great.
Sounds great.
Cool. Awesome.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
We'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So, remaining 4, I throw this out to you. Do we want to go for maybe another half an hour? We're at the 3-hour mark right now, which is usually when we've been wrapping it up. But we could, I know some of you are still working, so if we want to keep going for a little bit, and we can do that.
I don't want to follow Jeff, but I believe I am also done. However, to answer the question, I can just like sketch something else real quick too. I don't mind drawing more.
That's cool. I'm fine, still working. I'm good until 3. So
Okay, yeah. So let's do chat. We're gonna hang out for the last little bit. If you had any questions or wanted to see any stuff specifically, throw that out to us now, and then we'll do wrap ups around probably like 2:45, 2:50, and we'll call it for this Saturday. Yeah.
Talking about mini painting, I was like, I would do that for a stream. I need an excuse to paint a bunch of minis.
Oh. Well, and I think that's something we can definitely like look into as we go with this. Like, obviously, most of us are artists in a traditional sense in drawing and sketching or digital art and the equivalent of that, or in Laura's case, like painting. But there's something that says we can't branch out and have other art things happening. And I'll drop a little teaser that there is a very good chance that some stream coming up in a couple of weeks is actually going to be something that is not just hand-drawn art, and it's going to incorporate something else. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm not going to lie. That is going to be, yes, that is the Doodle Crew that's happening on Saturday the 27th. So I'm teasing for that. That's going to be something different. And I could not be more excited about that stream. So, secret stream.
Secret streaming.
Secret stream.
Let's not talk about it. We'll give it away.
Yeah, Randy. Hype. Given that, dude. Heck yeah. Also, Paul says, evil cackle. Yes, yes. More mini painting. Yes.
Well, I got the big boss for the end of my campaign. I I think my players are only at like level 5 at max, so it's going to be like 3 years before they see the big baddie. But the box is this big.
Oh my gosh.
It came in several pieces, so I'm a little intimidated.
Oh,
Sounds like
your
fun.
yeah, your mic dropped out on me at least a little bit.
Oh, I need to paint it. I'm kind of far from my laptop because I'm sketching.
Yeah, I think it's just mad. It's like, excuse me, you're not paying attention to me. I would like to be heard. Oh, that's what I was gonna do.
Microphones are such drama llamas.
They really are. Also, now that you've said that, Kristen, all I can hear is secret tunnel.
You're welcome.
In my head.
That's what I'm here for.
No, this is Patrick. Oh, I love it. I love it that just simple things like instantly have brain recall to other stuff. I love it and I hate it. Let's put it that way. It is both amazing and terrible at the same time. All right. This. Yeah. Your very good fiance, Nicole. Be like, yes, honey, that's great. I'm sorry, Laura, I cut you off.
Oh, I was just saying. I just realized I got their eye colors mixed up. Not that that's a problem.
Fix it in post.
Fix everything in post.
Oh, I just
do the project in post.
I managed to fix it. Well, I don't know why in the camera it looks crooked. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this alone before I completely destroy it.
Hebe wins. Says it's so they can see themselves in each other's eyes.
Oh.
I also like that's such a Ghibli thing to be like that focus on like the eyes and all of the deeper meaning and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So actually,
it's totally intentional.
I might make them look a little less depressed in post, though. They both look very bummed out. They're like, we're very serious people. Also, we don't like each other very much. That's okay.
I love it. No, not what I wanted. Boop. There we go.
I should draw more comic relief characters. They're so much more fun.
Well, as she was talking about that, I was like, oh, I really do love those two mains, but I love Calcifer. Like, he's such a little shit, but I love him.
He's the best.
I need to rewatch that. That was one I remember like when it came out and enjoying it, and then it just like disappeared off my radar really quickly. And yeah.
Which one?
Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know. Like I've definitely watched Spirited Away a bunch, and I mean I will watch Kiki pretty much every day. But yeah, like, that one I don't know if at the time there wasn't an easy way to watch it, so rewatching became really tricky.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Kiki again. I like that one.
I love that one.
So what was everyone's first Ghibli movie? It's always a really good question to ask people. I feel like it's the who is your Tim Curry of the animation world?
Exactly.
I don't know if I can answer that question.
Because you don't remember?
No, I just I like so many of them.
Well, not which one was your favorite, which one was your first?
Oh, Princess Mononoke. That was
So
my first.
I'm trying to remember because I'm pretty sure I saw Kiki's randomly on TV at one point and didn't know what it was and loved it. But then
It aired on Cartoon Network.
yeah. So I definitely saw it there, and then but I like to remember actually making a purpose to go and get was Princess Mononoke. But yeah. What is that? Oh, it's that. Okay.
Actually, I forget the circumstances in which I watched Princess Mononoke. I kind of remember the room, but I don't remember who I was with. It wasn't my family, that's for sure.
But yeah, no, I don't see your mom getting down with that.
No. I mean, she's fine.
Yes, I feel bad. I've never actually. I don't think.
No, I feel bad too because I tell all these stories about her, and then people meet her and they're like, "Your mom's really nice," and I'm like, "No, she is. She's super nice." All those stories still happen, but she is very nice, and I love her very much.
They're not mutually exclusive, though. She can still be crazy, even that.
Well, I can be crazy too, so it's fine. It could be a family thing.
All right, let's try this on a different layer. That's what we're gonna do.
Where did my mouse
Oh, cookies, you failed me.
go?
So, which one was yours, Sarah?
That's Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke. I think it's because that was right around the time when it was really like it got the American dub and the big like studio release. So I feel like
It got a studio release, Princess Mononoke?
well, like I guess studio release is the wrong word, but like I remember an ad campaign for it. Like I remember seeing stuff about the fact that you had, you know, Kirsten Dunst and this person, this person, this person, and all of that. Like there was a very like effort to get people to watch that or rent it. I remember renting it. That's what I can actually like guarantee that I did. I don't remember much more beyond that.
I watched Princess Mononoke because a boy in my high school, who I did not realize at the time had a crush on me, gave me like the Escaflowne movie, Princess Mononoke, like a bunch of stuff, and he was trying to do that thing where it's like, oh, like let's go watch these movies together, and I completely just blanked, and I was just like, no, I'm okay, I have to go home, and I just like took them, went home, and watched them all by myself. He was like originally trying to be like we were in ski club together, and we had like, you know, gotten to know each other through that, but then found out we had a lot of interest. And he's like, well, have you seen this, and that movie? And I'm like, nope, I have no idea what those are. And so he introduced me to a lot of those. So yeah, it was this really old, janky, like burned DVD CD that had Princess Mononoke on it. And it was like not good quality, but I watched the hell out of it because it was so amazing. Like I had never seen that kind of animation before, even that sort of storytelling in an animated format. Like what the closest would have been Fern Gully, and that is nowhere near Princess Mononoke.
No. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing about watching it. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen out of Disney, out of, you know, DreamWorks, out of Fox. It was something totally different.
So, all about that.
Randall says he still has his VHS of Mononoke.
My sister still has her copy.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay. Change how this looks weird.
Which reference? There it is.
I like the mole rat.
Thank you. It's looking really weird right now, but I promise I do have a plan for it. It's so strange. They're just weird little creatures.
They're
Weird and
odd.
encouraging.
They're so like ecologically odd and like anatomically odd too. They sort of freak me out.
Yeah.
Because they're so weird.
Have a queen.
Yeah, they have like a hive mind. Like, why, little rodent thing? Do you need a hive mind?
Well, that's terrifying.
But I agree with Mayor Squish. Rufus was absolutely the best part of that show, and one of the best episodes was like the Ron factor, and then at the end it turned out to be the Rufus factor. Still, like my favorite episode of that show, where they credited everything that Kim Possible succeeded in to Rufus.
Yeah,
Classic side character.
I was gonna say great animal sidekick though. Like just top notch.
So I use some colored pencil to make them slightly happier, like just a little bit happier.
Ah, that looks so cool.
They're
Oh,
like,
love it.
now they just look like they want to fall asleep, and that's fine.
I mean, big same. Big same constantly. Do you have any fun projects coming up, Laura, that you're working on, or art that you're submitting?
No.
No.
No, that's an easy answer. I have a painting that I did for my dad that I have to frame, and that's it. So, no, I've been enjoying just kind of doodling and doing what I feel like, and not having any like the pressure of submission or anything like that. I think I've kind of needed it.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's honestly that's great, especially if you're happy. That's even better.
Yeah. So I'm definitely enjoying that part, and that's part of why I want to get the stream going, because I figure it'll give me even more reason to paint, because I'll have people expecting me to show up to paint. So, but I'll still get to just do whatever I want. So yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I feel that way about my stream, because I'm proud because I sit there and for 4 hours I do art, but it doesn't have to be something that I'm going to use. It could just be like, no, this is just fun and I like it, and that's enough.
Yeah. At some point I want to start putting together another show, like a gallery show, but yeah. I'm still struggling with like, I want to have a theme and not sure what I want to do with it yet. So how about you guys? Doing anything new or fun work?
I got distracted by the Simkin question about Michael Sheen, David Tennant mugs with each other's faces on them.
Yes, I love it so much. I love them so much. I love both of those actors too, so it's just like it's all of the best things.
So I need the question repeated, I think.
I like your honesty though. You're like, I was not paying attention. And
I was with you until you asked the question, because I like got rid of my reference from drawing and immediately saw the next But what was the question?
Definitely more interesting.
Project-wise, so I had asked Laura. So Laura had a very, very cool solo show that she ran here in town, obviously, before the world closed. So I was asking if she had other projects that she was working on, and she said no, that she'd been doing a lot of this stuff just for herself. So she's asking us what projects we were working on, or if we had any cool stuff. And I figured out why that's being weird. Okay.
I thought the question was, but before I started talking, I wanted to double check. I'm doing a painting that I've had canvases for a long time, but I want to do it in the can't think of his name. He did all the backgrounds for Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
Ivan Earl, in Ivan Earl style. I'm doing like a big.
Oh, I lost you again.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Sorry, big landscape in Ivan Earl style, and I put in like 4 hours into it, and then that was like 2 months ago. So I'm trying to work on that.
That's cool, though.
That's awesome. I can kind of picture, I love that work. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
That's going to be really awesome when you finish it.
If I finish it.
Brent, it's there.
Believe in you.
When you finish.
Anything about you, you will finish it, no matter how long it takes. It will get done.
Yeah.
Is it one you're doing? I know you said it, but then again, I forgot. So it's my turn. One you're doing for yourself, or one you're doing for a friend?
So it's a Wizard of Oz landscape.
Ooh, in that style, that's dope.
Hopefully, if it doesn't start turning out, I might give up and just be sad forever.
It'll turn out, no doubt.
You'll get there, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
The good thing about canvas is I could just paint over it and start over.
This is true.
That is always the nice thing. We should harangue you about it now.
Now that we know.
Every time we see you on stream, we can be like, so how's that painting going?
Force me to do 1 square inch of the painting every 2 weeks.
You'll learn to hate us, but then you'll thank us.
Yeah, so my big I'm sorry, Laura, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask Kristen what she's doing.
For like projects currently? Funny enough, I'm actually
that,
doing
and also I love your drawing.
So this is Mermista and Seahawk from the animated series She-Ra. And I just super love their dynamic because she is very whatever. She has this very teenager, done with the world, jaded sort of callous perspective, but you can tell it's the act, because even though she pretends not to like Seahawk at all, he is just the best character of that show. Soapbox agrees with me, I hope. Yes. Absolute best character. He is super animated. He is the just this fantastic eccentric person that goes out of his way to be romantic towards Mermista. So it's not necessarily I super love the characters individually. Well, I love Seahawk, but them together, their dynamic whenever they're together in a scene is just extremely entertaining. So I wanted to draw that his over the top Valentine's presentation, and then she's just whatever, but she got a little blush going on her. She loves it. She digs it. She knows her man.
Cute.
She's all about it. So I'm trying to pull up references because I'm gonna have to pull in some colors, I think. So let me see. But yeah, so I really wanted to just kind of do something super fun, and side characters are always the best characters.
It is a great dynamic.
They have better chemistry sometimes than the mains.
Oh, side characters? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, you're just gonna be your own layer? That's fine.
Less pressure for the side characters to have like a dynamic, important, serious arc all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a chance for them to be fun or do something sillier or something to lighten the mood if the main plot is getting real heavy real fast.
They're also not as like important to, like, if they become annoying or obnoxious, you can just kill them off. You can't do that with the main character.
I mean, Game of Thrones says different.
Well,
But
all right. True be that. True be that. You got me
What?
there.
you liked them too bad. They did.
Enjoy them while they're here.
Yeah.
They're murdered.
But I feel like that's a very unique case. Like, I certainly don't think that's the norm by any means.
I watch a lot of zombie movies. All of my favorite characters die.
That's true.
Freddy from Return of the Living Dead. Todd, the scientist from Day of the Dead. But then I learned to really like the helicopter pilot and the radio guy. But it's okay.
There we
I've
go.
gotten used to it.
I was gonna say, it must have made you stronger as a person. All your favorite characters always dying.
It's like, I have experienced loss. And it's like, really? Someone in your family? No, character I love.
Characters. So many characters in books and shows that I love.
I definitely have that issue with books, yeah. I get very sad after reading a book.
Yeah, I think that's been something that has bummed me out a little bit about, that's a funny statement. One of the many things that has bummed me out about the global pandemic. And it's, with working from home and doing art and having like main jobs that I had guaranteed income, all of a sudden not be guaranteed. Like, there's been a lot more hustling that has been required, but I was kind of hoping that with this, it meant I'd have more time to read. And while that is true, I've been having a lot more trouble just sitting down and like kind of letting my mind rest and relax to get into the book. Like, there's just too much else running around and I'm not finding that to be the relaxing escape. Like, I'm really, really forcing myself. Like, sometimes like in college when we were reading textbooks that I maybe didn't care as much about, like, I'm forcing myself to read for pleasure. And I'm like, this seems counterintuitive. So that's a bummer.
The audiobook.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
Hiker's Guide, because I never read those. And I went through all 5 of them in 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well,
I should switch to audiobooks. I am reading so avidly, it's pretty bad time consuming wise.
Yeah, I got the
Because I need
audiobook
an escape.
one and got through it in 3 days because I was just like, well, this is amazing and I can't stop. But yeah, same thing. I think if I had been physically reading it, I don't know if I would have made it all the way through like that.
I started a sci-fi book club, and I was the only one that hadn't read Hitchhiker's Guide, and they're like, well, that's your homework. and they're all on YouTube, read by the author, which makes it so much better because it's super British. And I'm like,
it's great.
well,
It's
I'm
already a
gonna-
very British story, so it fits.
I think one of my
remember-
favorite audiobooks ever was, have you guys ever heard of the books Sabriel by Garth Nix?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, Tim Curry voices those. Sorry, I
Yeah.
still remember. Sorry. I'm
100%
so
my
sorry.
favorite. No, it's okay. I'm super glad someone else appreciates it. But yeah, Tim Curry.
The voice he does for the cat, was the cat's name like Mugen or something? Is like
Mogget.
Mogget. God, his voice for the cat, I just like, can we have that as like my phone Surrey voice? Just, yeah, he is phenomenal. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's really excellent.
I did there was a book series that I got, and it was voiced by or it was a audiobook, and the reader was Elijah Wood, and it was a very like acclaimed book, and I was like, oh, this should be good. And Elijah Wood did a really decent job doing the reading, but it was a trash story. Like, it wasn't good at all. And so I tried to listen to it just because like he was such a good reader. But no, I couldn't. I'm like, I'm sorry, Elijah. I can't with this book.
I tried, man. I tried.
And it's so bad. It's so bad.
I think the first audiobook of this year, well, I guess it was slightly last year, I didn't want to just listen to music while driving home for Christmas. I was like, I've been meaning to reread The Wizard of Oz. Anne Hathaway reading The Wizard of Oz is so good. She does voices, and there's a crane character in it, and that's my favorite voice out of all of them, is a crane that saves the scarecrow from the river.
Aw.
It's really, really good.
Nice.
Highly recommend.
That's awesome.
Do that.
It's 3:00.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I just had a moment. I was like, oh, I bet I'll check the time. And I was like, well, I totally lied. And people you're going to finish. And then, nope. But I think that's a good thing because we got talking books and stuff. So
Ain't nothing wrong with talking books.
Mm. There we go. It's so silly.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah.
The ghost of Christmas past.
Or like he was the architect that planned their relationship from the beginning. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get these two kids together.
Those crazy kids.
Because it took him a long time. It took a couple seasons.
Oh, it's so silly. I love it. All right.
Factor.
So I gotta run soon.
Okay, so let's outro you first. So let me pull that up. All right, so remind everybody where they can find you.
Laura Charles Art.
Yay!
So mostly Instagram and Twitter.
Excellent. Very nice. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Paul just told me he has never seen a naked mole rat. Oh, well, Paul, you're in for a treat. It's going to be a thing. Okay.
Yeah, you should Google that, like, soon.
They're unique. All right, and Sarah.
Can you say search on?
Can we see what you sketched, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. I did a little Star and Marco.
Oh, look at
Star
them.
Marco.
That's in through the
Starco.
portal.
They're cute.
They're so cute.
Super cute.
Rainy Corn and Jake. You called me out. I had to do Adventure Time. And this is
They're
the
just-
only couple I didn't see in chat.
Nice.
Well, you draw them so damn cute. Like, I mean, part of it's just selfish for me, but I love it. That looks so great. I love that pose. Again, talking about that'd make a great sticker.
You know, the
Yeah.
whole time I was drawing it, I was like, they're going to make me make this a sticker.
We are. We're really bad. We're sticker pushers. I'm just like, do it. Do it.
Sticker pushers, I like that.
Sticker pushers.
Sticker pusher mafia.
Oh, that's great. So there's where you can find Sarah. Anything else you want to throw out or promote?
I mean, you can find me on Facebook too. It's my name. I do comic stuff, so if you like teen drama and comics, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, let me jump back here. All right, and we can zoom in. Boom. Yeah, so there's Kristen's piece. Let me switch that over to there. All right, and tell people where they can find you.
Yep. So Kia or Kia Creations pretty much everywhere, though I'm trying to become more prominent on Instagram mainly at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully I will post more. I'm actually trying to separate my cosplay and my art pages, so I'll be posting a lot more work in progress shots, which is my hope. So, yay!
Cool.
So I did Uranus, Neptune, and then I started to do Seahawk and Mermista because we all need some comic relief.
They're
Absolutely.
adorable.
Some comedy, some happiness, something. All right, and yeah, and there's Kristen's stuff in the thing. Let me pull up, clicking all the things. There we go. There. Boom. Oh, why didn't it show the thing? Do the thing. Oh, it won't show. Okay. Well, there's my first piece. So I am Swan. I'm a swan named Emily. Everywhere. It's everywhere. So yeah. Find me here Friday afternoons for my regular Twitch stream where I just draw art. I haven't done an educational one in a while. I haven't had a lot of questions, so I've kind of just been hanging out doing art. But yeah, then coming up, Doodle Crew stuff. Like I said, this coming Wednesday at 6 p.m., we will be back here doing scenes from a hat from the chat. And then Saturday the 21st was sketching Shakespeare. And then the following Saturday the 27th of February, I think right around 11, I have to check that time-wise, but definitely in the morning, is the to-be-announced secret fun stream for Doodle Crew. So we'll be back. We've got like I said, we've got a couple of these coming up. So if you want to receive notifications, make sure you follow this page. I know a lot of you do, so thank you very much for that. Yeah, let me switch over. I was gonna do there's that one, and then that one. Those are my two that I finished today. Yeah, you can find me. And as always, like if you guys at home, oh, that's right. Thank you, Nicole. Yes. So also very exciting for this coming Wednesday Doodle Crew is we're gonna have another special guest. So definitely check that out because we're mixing it up. We're going off the rails and being crazy, but also super fun. And the last prompt show was really fun. It was something very different because we didn't really have control over what we got to draw. It was chosen for us, but it was a lot of fun. At least I had a lot of fun. And they people came back. So I'm assuming they didn't hate it. So yeah. So that's awesome. But thank you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for supporting us and our page and showing up and liking our art. If you want more Doodle Crew stuff, make sure you follow us. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Everything is pretty much Doodle Crew or Doodle Crew Draws. So you can see finished pieces, especially coming up because Nicole is amazing. The release schedule is going to start featuring the art from the prompt week. I think we're finishing up the Who's Who episode art now. But the prompt stuff was cool because they were shorter drawings. Some people, myself included, finished them out or finished them more. So you get to kind of see a side-by-side with what was the 20-minute one versus what was our actually getting to finish the art. So that's something cool to check out because that will actually be art that you guys haven't seen on stream. But yeah, other than that, thank you again. You guys are awesome. We love you. And this is great. And have a great rest of your Saturday. Bye.
Thank you.